Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Godlike Naruto son of Luna My Little Pony. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by TREMOR230 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. This is for short comments mid-lines that ideally do not interrupt the flow of the reading. I hope it is somehow clear, it's the first time I do this. Disclaimer. I don't own Naruto or My Little Pony and I don't make a profit out of my or other authors' stories. This is merely a birthday present to a dear friend. Reading The Prince of Storms. Discord's cousin comes to play. Equestria Fluttershy's home. You sure you can't help me? The gentle Pegasus asked from outside. Nah. I am busy now. The mismatched dragon pony everything else hybrid answered stretching lazily on the sofa. Doing what? Fluttershy asked curious while peeking from the window. Nothing. It's a very tiring discipline, you know. Very stressful. The Draconequus answered yawning. How do you? Whatcha doin'? A new voice asked exuberantly from outside. Oh, God. That voice Discord whimpered going wide-eyed while burying his face under a pillow. Oh. And who are you? He heard Fluttershy ask curious. Me? I am Anarchy. Did Dissy forget to mention me? The voice replied making Discord go red-faced in blind anger. My name is not Dissy. He roared running outside to glare at the intruder. Dissy. 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 The other Draconic was standing in the garden sang smirking. He was very similar to Discord, but for whatever reason his body parts instead of being in various colors like Discord were all colored in shades of purple, with each part showing a different gradient of color, seemingly chosen at random. Arg. You never told us you had a cousin, Fluttershy said looking at the two confused. I am not one to go around flaunting all the disgraces that happened in my life, the other answered bitterly. I am a disgrace to you? I thought you loved me. Anarchy said with an exaggerated pout. Just like one loves a toothach and why you are purple. Discord answered crossing his arms. Yeah, why am I purple? It is so out of style now. Anarchy answered grimacing and then snapping his fingers once to turn his skin color to mixed shades of green and yellow, mixed randomly without any form of order. Better. He said smirking. Good, now that you came here and managed to annoy everybody. Kindly go away. Shoo. Discord answered materializing a zipper floating in the air to open and haul towards literally nowhere and then start pushing his cousin towards it. Ow, come on. It has been hundreds of thousands of years since we last saw each other. Anarchy said whining. Yes, way too little pause between each visit. The other said grumbling. Spoil sport. The green Draconiqua said breaking down to water, forming a puddle and then recompacting several feet away, still showing a childish pout. Grrrr. What? Do? You? Want? Discord roared each word separately. He knows that our powers can't affect each other, that's why he is brooding. He hates to not see things go his way. Anarchy whispered to Fluttershy making her giggle a little. I am not brooding. Yes you are. I am not. You are. I'm not. Are. I'm not. Please. Fluttershy asked covering her ears to protect them from their screaming. Sigh. Why you are here. I want to read a story with you, like mommy and auntie used to do to us. Anarchy answered huffing. Don't remember me that, you kept suckling your thumb the whole time. Oh. Fluttershy said cooing. The one of his foot, not the hand. Ew. The Pegasus gagged with a green face. I stopped doing that now. You did? He asked with narrowed eyes. More or less. Ew. I want to read a story with Dissy. Anarchy yelled petulantly. Okay. Fine. We'll read your darn story. The other Draconicus yelled in exasperation. Thank you. But then you'll go away and do not return unless I, if for some unfathomable reason I go completely mad, call you personally, deal? Deal. The other said grumbling. So? Fluttershy asked as the silence kept mounting. Ah. Yes. The reading room. Anarchy answered flushing and snapping his fingers making everything turn to white, an endless white with nothing in sight, not even the earth or the sky. Where are we? The Pegasus asked worried. Nowhere. You mean? In a non-place. The guy here has a disturbing love for theatrics, Discord answered summoning a chair for himself and a puff for Fluttershy. Like you. I am an artist. Do not confuse my job with his. He answered growling. Yep. Always the grumpy one, that's why I have way more friends than you. Anarchy said smugly. I won't dignify that with an answer so. This story. I'll go take the others so we will start. The green chaos entity answered disappearing from the room. The others. An answer to the shy Pegasus question and hole open making Fluttershy's friends along both Celestia and Luna fall near them in a mound of groaning ponies. Oh we. Pinkie Pie moaned with spinning eyes. I can't feel my hooves anymore yo. There they are. She said elated. Those are mine, Pinkie Rainbow Dash answered from under AJ. Ops. Where are we? Twilight asked confused once they finally managed to regain their footing. A non-plus it's been a while since we saw one, we don't seem able to open a portal. What about you, sister? Luna asked as her horn refused to light up in magic. Neither can I teleport us out, Luna. We are blocked here. It was not me. Discord said immediately. Sewer. Rarity muttered as every eye of the newcomers locked on him. Yep. It was me to do this. Anarchy answered reappearing near the group. And who the hey are you? Dash yelled in surprise. My cousin. And it's painful even just to admit we are related. Discord said. And what does he want? Celestia asked as she moved in front of Twilight and the other elements in a protective manner. I want to read a story together. Like friends. He answered smiling wide. A story? Pinkie asked. Yep. I like to go world hopping from time to time and I have found this wonderful place where people write and publish their own versions of existing franchises for fun and where other guys can then write insulting reviews telling them to go kill themselves because they suck or believing their ideals and ideas to be so good that everyone should just listen and write their stories the way those guys want instead. Isn't it awesome? Okay, and AJ said unsure. And so I found this pretty little story and saw that Dissy and you others appeared in there as well, and so I started remembering how many good memories we had together and I have not good memories about you and to find stories about me and the ponies here, as if we were fictional characters. So far did you go? Discord asked with narrowed eyes. 11th. 12th. No, it was the 11th dimension. Why? Anarchy asked. What? Luna asked. The guys in there are crazy, completely nutters. That's why they have no magic or powers of the sort in there. I don't want to know what kind of people he had met there. The girl I took this from was okay, one of the few decent ones. But, back on topic. Since we are here and only Dissy here other than me can get you out, we're going to read one of those fanfictions together. The Draconiqua said excitedly. Open a portal. Open it. Now. I won't stay here and read a fanfiction coming from who knows where. Rarity ordered immediately. If I have to suffer from his being here, then you others too will share my agony, the other answered crossing his arms. There is nothing wrong with fanfictions, I wrote some daring do ones myself once or twice. Dash muttered, falling silent as everyone moved to look at her in disbelief. I mean fanfic, boo-oh. The Pegasus said lamely with a vibrant red face. We will read that story, Mr. Anarchy, but then you will let us go. Celestia said sighing in pure sufferance. Okay. We only need the other half of the characters and we are ready. Give me a minute. Anarchy said disappearing again. Other half. Discord said taken aback. Few seconds later and a new hole opened to let several people fall down in a heap with a chorus of eeps. And cursed of various genre. What the hell happened? A young man with raven-colored hair asked groaning. I don't know, the pink-haired girl that had landed on him answered unsure. Then get up, Sakura. Sasuke answered shoving her away from him. You okay, Hinata-chan? The blonde boy near the couple asked the girl that had fallen on him and was now sitting on his face. Who? And you, Naruto-kun? The pale-eyed girl asked blushing at their position. Oh, he don't mind, it feels nice, he answered winking and making her blush harder. Please have some form of self-control, you are not in private. Another blonde-haired woman said, hauling both teens to their feet. I didn't know you had it in you, Naruto. The last member of the group, a man with silver hair and his face completely covered bar a single eye, said chuckling. You're just jealous, Kakashi-sensei. Wait a minute. Who are those creatures? Luna screamed. Whoa. A talking horse. Naruto yelled back. I already saw you somewhere, both said at the same time. Maelstrom Chronicles. MLP. Both then yelled with wide eyes while pointing at each other. The others said confused. Mon. Hinata-chan has the whole VHS collection of your show. Reruns and spin-off comprised. I didn't know you were real. Naruto said amused. Beep. Shrieking in embarrassment, the Hyuga girl simply stood hidden behind her boyfriend to evade the curious looks of the others. We didn't know you others existed either, and we do possess the whole manga collection, rigid cover copies, but in the anime adaptation you had Red Man and you were in Unicorn. Luna answered confused. My mother has red hair, awesome red hair. Are we a bunch of manga characters for you others? Apparently. Celestia said unsure. Well, Naruto's name can be translated as Maelstrom, so if he is the main character it does make some sort of sense. Tsunade said unsure. And we have our own anime too, how was my voice actor? Kakashi asked curious. And mine. It's not easy to transmit my character's reasons and sorrow without overdoing and turning me into a whiny emo. Sasuke added. Sakura just looked at him with a raised eyebrow. I have an image to defend. The Uchiha man answered, shrugging. To be honest, we think Canterlot's adaptation sucks, we prefer the original Japanese audio with subtitles, Luna answered, huffing. Same from English with subtitles, Hinata admitted shyly. Where did you get them? Discord asked. Seventh dimension, Anarchy answered proudly. I see. Why we are here? Tsunade asked, growling, only her staying on the defensive in that situation. That living disgrace of my cousin, Discord said, pointing at the giddy Anarchy. Decided to kidnap us all because he wants us to read a fanfiction I suspect contains our respective groups, so if we don't want him to whine, cry and bother us until the end of time, I suggest to go along with it and read this damn thing. That's it? Kakashi asked, incredulous. Yep. Anarchy answered. Whatever, let's just read this story you wrote and be done with it. Sasuke said, sneering. I didn't write it, did. I just took a copy of it with her permission, Anarchy answered, opening a small hole in space to grab something inside it and show the others a young human girl with long hair and wearing a rainbow dash shirt that the Draconicus had tied up and gagged before putting her back where he was keeping her. Oh, yes. She really looks like someone voluntarily letting you borrow her story. Dash answered, rolling her eyes. Whatever. Shall we start? The Draconicus said, rubbing his hands together. Wait. Naruto said as he listened to Hinata's whispering in his ear. You sure I have to? He asked, groaning. Please. Sigh. Okay, can we please exchange autographs? We don't mind. Except for the brooding one, we never liked him in the show, so we don't want his. Luna answered, eager. What? The author seemed too enamored with your character and we find your magical eyes to be too hacks, to be fair. The Moon Princess answered, huffing. My Sharingan is not hacks, right? Right. No one had the courage to answer as Naruto and Kakashi simply scratched the back of their necks, while the girls simply coughed uneasy, with Tsunade even looking around as if greatly interested by the scenery around them. Hoi. Answer me. The other members of the shinobi group just did their best to not look at him directly. Screw you, guys, see I'm not a broken character, the Uchiha muttered with a childish pout and crossed arms. Completely ignoring the sulking Sasuke, the two groups rapidly exchanged autographs, while Anarchy summoned a thick book containing the story, and Discord, begrudgingly but nagged by Fluttershy into doing it, created chairs and puffs for everybody. Who will be first? Celestia asked, sighing. We will, Luna said, making the book float in front of her. We'll try to stay in character while reading, she added before clearing her throat. Chapter 1. The Maelstrom has come. It has my name in it, I'll read, you am worried. Naruto muttered, shivering. Canterlot Castle throne room. The female winged creature was silently looking outside the windows of the empty room, with an air of apprehension on her normally composed face, subtle trickles of sweat slowly falling from her forehead, while thousands of scenarios played in her mind at blinding speed. She was known as Celestia, and she was now about to see what the two most daring gambles she had took 1,000 years before will translate into. One was about exiling her beloved sister that had got corrupted 1,000 years before and turned into an evil entity renamed herself Nightmare Moon that Celestia had banished on the very moon of their world immediately after. It was more desperation than a gamble, I can assure you. Celestia commented, sighing. We are not holding it against you, sister, you know this. Luna answered with a gentle smile. It doesn't mean it didn't pain me to do it. We know. And another, more twisted in hindsight, and that was now showing more downsides than Celestia herself could have imagined even in her darkest moments. And both are about to blow up on my face, she muttered with a sigh of defeat. In exactly a week the moon, stars and pretty much the whole universe will seemingly help Nightmare Moon in her escape from her confinement, and even if Celestia had slowly, and painfully as well since it went against everything she herself stood for, moved things, so to have the reincarnations of the only thing able to truly help her sister to meet and purify her. The fact that the second victim of her 1,000-years-long countermeasures was also finally showing its restlessness was drawing the alicorn spare and worry. So the story starts from the events of the summer sun celebration, Twilight realized. Our very beginning, Rarity added, smiling tenderly at the memory. You really manipulated events like that, Celestia-san? Sakura asked, curious. Yes and no. To be honest, I was aware of Luna's incoming return as Nightmare Moon and Twilight's role in stopping her. Everything else, like the identity of the other elements of magic, was unknown to me. If I sent her to Ponyville was to first have her learn the importance of friendship and then see if her presence could attract the other dormant elements, as I suspected her own would do. I love my student too much to use her like a mere pawn. Celestia answered, making the purple unicorn blush a little. I am more worried about the second gambit you took in that story, Sasuke said with narrowed eyes. Me too, I have a bad feeling about that, Kakashi added. Then I am not the only one, the Sun Princess admitted. I am not even sure the elements of harmony will work on him is not driven by darkness, his rage will probably being justified by my literally tearing him away from what he thought was his home, his friends and familia then giving him back part of the memories those people erased had been source of further anger, instead of peace it's a wonder the barrier held for the entirety of those 3 months, Celestia muttered while looking towards one of the sealed chambers of the palace. The place where only she could enter. What she could not know was that the prisoner inside the light-colored sphere of energy had not been trapped for 3 months, but had instead followed the suggestion of the secondary entity inside his body and used part of the memories Celestia had given him to understand how his new body worked. Slowly, painfully recovering the same control over his power that he used to have before getting forcefully took away. She had tried to give him memories of his youth and enough info about language and basic workings about his body and possible magic in hope that he could use that as a starting point to then learn the rest by himself. What she couldn't imagine was that a second mind could block those info, dissect them, and keep only the fundamental parts like the notion about using the newly formed horn on his forehead instead of his hooves to fight. That sounds like kidnapping. Tsunade growled. Eh? AJ asked curious. Pony napping, Hinata supplied. Get it, thanks. I know how the show works. The Hyuga girl muttered looking down. Why am I there? Naruto asked worried. What do you owe? Luna asked before noting the detail she had just read. You talked about a secondary entity inside the prisoner's body. It sounded suspiciously like Kurama, and so me. The blonde explained. Have you by chance took him in your world by force in case your plan for Twilight Sand failed? Tsunade asked marching in front of the young man as if to protect him. DP please calm down, I am sure the story will tell us why and if Mr. Naruto is there. Fluttershy offered nervous. We have found a pony version of you, Hinata. Sakura said smirking and making both girls turn cherry red in embarrassment. Where were we? Here it is. Luna said as she returned to read. Your Majesty. The special ship you asked for is ready, an armor-covered Pegasus said after entering the room. But tell the soldiers to vacate the area around us as instructed while flying at the accorded distance. I want only the bare minimum crew on board. The less people are around the treasure the better I will feel, Celestia answered nodding. Anything dangerous? We can take that to Ponyville ourselves while you fly secure on the ship, no need to risk your life, Princess, the guard offered with a worried tone. Thank you for your offer, but it's my responsibility. I would have preferred leaving everything sealed in the vault, but I don't feel at ease being too far away from such a dangerous thing, the princess answered. Sorry the boldness, your highness, but wouldn't be better just destroying it if it is so dangerous? What? The Konoha group roared as one. Calm down, if that Celestia acts like me then I am sure she won't go along with that idea. The Sun Alicorn answered trying to placate the guests of their latest misadventure. I am afraid that even if by far the most destructive thing I had ever seen, I can't simply destroy it. That I fear is also near impossible, even should I wish to, Celestia answered sighing. See? She is against the idea. I understand, sorry for my words, princess, the guard said with a low bow. You are just worried so I won't hold it against you. Now go, we still have a lot to prepare, Celestia said with a gentle smile. Roger. The guard answered before disappearing from the room. Sigh. It's time to face the music and the repercussions of my choices, the princess said before steeling herself and moving towards the imprisoned pony. The next day Ponyville Library. Oh my gosh. It's already time. We are not ready yet. There is still the catering to organize. The decorations are still getting adjusted and a young purple unicorn rambled in shock at seeing Celestia enter the room she was in. It's nice for that girl to go through all the trouble of keeping you so much in character, Twi. Spike said snorting. I am not like that. Twilight muttered looking down. Yes you are, Sugar Cube. But we love you just as for that all the same. AJ answered giving her a gentle bump on her flank with hers. Thank you. Twilight, calm down. I am here because I need a special brand of favor, one that I could not put on parchment and send you, something I had took care of personally up until this moment, but now requires further help and I am forced to ask you as I can actually trust only you for this, the princess answered. Everything. Whatever you need. Twilight Sparkle, personal student of the Alicorn princess, answered immediately while standing to attention. It's a serious matter that requires maximum secresicum with me, Celestia said before both disappeared in a flash of light. The two soon appeared in an empty room only containing the glowing sphere of energy holding inside Celestia's most foolish mistake, second only to her own sister's banishment. What is that, princess? The young girl asked. I call it treasure as it is, in its purest form and at its origins, what was it at its birth, Celestia answered sighing. Some pony is in there? Twilight asked curious. I'll tell you an old story, a sad one. Over 1,000 years ago there was a mother. the most pure, gentle of the mares, a beauty as pale as the moonlight and as gentle as the breeze of a night of summer and day. She fell in love with one of the guards that had swore to protect her with his own life, and even if their relationship was not frowned upon, the two still wanted to keep everything a secret, maybe as a sort of game, or maybe in fear that some pony would have something against them. Celestia said. Then? What happened? The young unicorn asked. From their union a young Pegasus was made. Even as a colt he was as brave as his father, but as gentle as his mother, truly the fusion of both parents' best qualities. But then corruption took the mother, forcing a great power to separate the parents from the colt. The young stallion had been once again returned to a state of infancy and cast away, so far that even the mother could not reach him, and twisted into a new shape so that he could not be summoned or even recognized, and apparently with even the few memories his young mind had of his life here erased by the same people that swore to keep him safe in a world of anger. Or in constant tension he grew strong, stronger than anything we had ever seen, and I have called him back and imprisoned him in that sphere. Celestia answered. You think us to be that pretty? Luna asked amused. Well, I do think that. I would not have used that prose normally but I find it fitting. Celestia answered nodding. Oh my. Thank you. She said preening. Am I the only one noting the fact that you kidnapped someone back to your world after sending him away without actually checking how was his life in the place you sent him to? Sasuke said incredulous. That description was too vague, though you took the wrong guy. Kakashi yelled with wide eyes. Eh? Is a common trope in fiction. Your counterpart had cast someone away after turning him into a new shape, I bet into an human, but then instead of calling the same guy back, you took somebody else, the masked Jonin explained. Me in that case, Naruto realized in dismay. Exactly, as a good excuse to start a crossover. If I ever was forced into such a situation, I would have made sure to not make nor that mistake or others you think that version of me did, I assure you. Celestia tried saying, shocked. Maybe she talks about my father. She may have sent Minato Namikaze away and by chance mistook me for him, Naruto tried saying. We'll need to continue reading to know what's the pairing, by the way. Hinata asked in dread. Then maybe we should leave that for later. Luna answered, nervous at the glare the Hyuga girl was sending her. Read. The girl hissed in answer to that. But Twilight asked confused. He needed to return. I hoped he could help me resolving an ancient problem of our world, but I had not realized that I would have Basicala kidnapped. It's Bonanapatsori, the unicorn corrected her automatically before blushing. In character. Shut up, Spike. At least I seem to be aware of my mistake. Excuses are not necessary as he had been turned into an human, they used the term kidnap in that case. And as I said, I didn't realize that I was taking him away from what he believed being his life to take him. Hera had been rightfully furious, especially when I made another mistake in showing that he had basically lived a lie that lasted 20 years from his point of view. The alicorn said. Human? Like those creatures from Legends? Twilight asked. They are real, but Legends never described them as a belligerent race that unfortunately had never felt the power of harmony and friendship like we did and still do. Hey. The shinobi group said, offended. We are not savages. My apologies, but I remember you that it is not the real me saying that. Celestia answered. Still. They are real, but Legends never described them as a belligerent race that unfortunately had never felt the power of harmony and friendship like we did and still do, or at least those he had lived with acted as such. The ones that raised him were by far the most powerful kind, and even if while in that human body he had no access to his normal Pegasus powers, he— Oh. Thank you. I know I am awesome. Stop preening, Naruto dope. So he returned into being a Pegasus once you called him back? Not exactly, but this is not important at the moment. I hope that recovering his memories would have helped, but I was wrong. I need you to keep this fear in check should something happen that would stop me from mounting guard on him. He is a young stallion, as apparently the world I took him from had time working differently. That explains why after 1,000 years he is barely a young adult older than you. Can you do this, Twilight? Can you help me mounting guard and keep the secret? Not a single pony can know about him until I'll be sure he won't get revenge on every being that crosses his path, Celestia asked. No, pleaded her student. Me and Kurama don't take kindly to brainwash, so I fear that the me in there won't be happy once out of his prison. Naruto offered with an apologetic tone. They do hate that, I can testify. Sasuke added, wincing. More than brainwashing, the princess seemed to have just tried returning you memories of our world, Rarity said. Tried to see it from an outsider point of view, Sakura pointed out. It was not very nice have some pony try to give you memories not your own, it's true. Pinky admitted. Thank you, the blonde shinobi said, smiling in gratitude, making her giggle. I don't brainwash ponies and humans, Celestia muttered, dejected. We know, sister. We know. Luna said reassuringly. Be everything. You can count on me, princess. The young unicorn answered, nodding. Good, I personally sealed this room and the ship as a whole, only me and you will be able to enter, while the others won't even register its existence. Now show me how things are progressing, I am actually curious about how this summer sun celebration will be like, the princess said with a more calm smile. Right away. Please follow me, your highness, Twilight said while the two moved outside the room, sealing the entrance with a series of heavy metallic noises. Did you hear that? Someone spun some bullshit around so to appear crystal clean and smelling of roses, the prisoner thought with a sneer. Just wait until we will be sure you won't trip on your feet of whatever, then we will burst out and have the bitch learn what happens when you fuck up with people's lives, a second voice, this one deep and inhuman, echoed in the stallion's head. Told you, Naruto said grimacing. Being that rude was not necessary though, Fluttershy said. I am sorry for that, but I was probably super angry in that situation, he answered shrugging. And for a good reason. Tsunade said glaring at Celestia making her flinch. With pleasure. How long before I can return to my top form? He asked. If we are lucky, just a week. Here natural energy is even thicker than back home, but there is not even the slightest spark of chakra in those creatures, as I could not feel on you. Little bit more patience, and you will be able to do even the most complex technique with this horn of yours alone, the voice answered. Good, the sage mode and frog katas will be a little bit more difficult to adapt, but I never lacked imagination. I can't wait. He answered smirking. Well said, Naruto, well said. We have a week to finish adapting the Rasengan and its variants to being horn generated along the remaining techniques we know, but the bitch luckily had the brilliant idea of giving us the basics of how to do their magic useless crap. If you ask me, we will show them what real power is once out of here, Kurama, nine-tailed Biju, answered with a similar feral grin. Yep, it was clear it was me, but listening the full confirmation is even worse. Who's talking with you? Spike asked confused. Oh. Right. I forgot about that fox. Anarchy said snapping his fingers and summoning the Titanic Biju near the shinobi group. I was hoping to not be added to this farce, to be honest. Kurama admitted sighing. Nice ears bunny. I mean, foxy. Ha ha ha. Dash said laughing loudly. Roar. In answer the nine-tailed fox roared at a millimeter of the Pegasus's face, making her fall silent instantly. Okay. I won't mention the ears ever again. Dash shrieking and nodding frantically. Good. Is he always that grumpy? AJ asked while looking at the Biju warily. You should read the manga, he can be even worse. Luna answered nodding sagely. Screw you. Our point exactly. TCH. A week later pavilion. Our dear beloved subjects, it has been so long since we have seen thy precious little son-loving faces, too long as a matter of facts. A female lollicorn with a skin as dark as the moonless night said with a purring voice. To be completely honest, while we were trapped on the moon in that twisted form, we spent several decades focusing on preparing that speech, and the following ones only, it was the only thing we could do to pass the time. Luna admitted blushing. That version of you was a tiny bit narcissistic, unfortunately. Celestia admitted sheepishly. Sister. It kind of was. Rarity admitted with a low voice, making the other elements nod along with her. Oh, horse feathers, the moon princess groaned in shame. As the cries of the ones present grew in volume with their calling for Celestia to show up, in the deepest recesses of the lonely airship hidden not too far away by layers upon layers of illusions, the sphere of light holding the Sun Princess's prisoner started sparking an energy. It's a solid barrier, that much I will admit, but still, just an annoyance, Naruto muttered as he closed his eyes to focus. Some negative emotions made their presence known. Sad thing is that by their standards, whoever is here now must feel like a monster, but to us. I would barely classify it as angry kitten, and that with me being generous, this guy is nothing compared to Orochimaru or Madara. Kurama said snickering. I find it hard to believe Nightmare Moon was a being of darkness, the manifestation of Luna's darkest side, Celestia said. PFFT. You pony's evil QQT threatening. Sasu couldn't help it, his expression morphed into one of barely restrained amusement at that statement as he tried to not laugh. What? Yoo-hoo. Nothing. We just have other standards for evil, that is all. Kakashi answered with a very condescending tone and an eye smile as he and the others valiantly tried to not laugh out loud. And yet I feel like me and my whole world has just been insulted, the Sun Alicorn muttered unsure. Me too. Twilight admitted while the others just nodded. But still, I can't feel that Celestia's presence as clearly as I did before, she must be pretty far away, the other answered. No chakra, but they have such an overabundance of spiritual energy that we can still sense them through the sage mode. The fact that natural energy here is more abundant also helps, just like following something underwater by tracking the ripples it leaves behind, the Biju said. All the better for me, I want to kick that woman's ass for what she did, then go back to Konoha, resurrect Sarutobi Jiji and my father, and beat them into a paste. They should have told me. Naruto said while yelling the last part and actually making cracks appear on his prison. Calm down, we have a bad guy here to defeat, so use the bastard as a chew toy to burn out some steam, then we'll have all the time to have Thawthorn horse. Whatever is the right term, pay for what she did. Kurama answered. Alright. Let's break out and fight, I am tired to stay immobile like this, I need some action. The blonde said eagerly. Then summon the truth-seeking balls and eat through this light show, it's starting to hurt my eyes, the Biju said. You really like those don't you? I'll never understand why, they are boring. Oh shut up. We have an op ability and I pretend to see it used. Okay, let me put on the right dress then, we are going to crash a party and we have to look our best. Naruto answered laughing as he opened his now yellow eyes while his body started transforming. I am of the same idea, we should use those more often, Kurama said pointing at the book. Not everybody likes to go overkill, furball. Naruto countered. TCH. You are not fun, brat. Meanwhile. Are you sure you want to come with me? Twilight asked while watching royal guards getting through round by the powerful bolts of lightning launched by Nightmare Moon. You said that, girl. Those elements or whatever can stop her, that's not something one can do alone. A cyan Pegasus with rainbow-colored mane answered nodding. Dash is right. If you have a way to stop that crazy horse then I'll help as well. A pony with a cowgirl had added. Fools. No one will stop us. Our night shall last for whatever Nightmare Moon was about to say failed when both back legs of a mysterious pony struck her face. Time itself seemed to briefly come to an halt as the helmet around the alicorn's head slowly deformed under the power of the attack while air rippled behind the mare, then, as if a spring had been released, the dark alicorn went shot away as a blur. Demolishing several houses and leaving behind a long trail of destruction as she was sent flying all the way out of the small town while kicking up a cloud of dust of immense proportions. Damn. I guess I overdid a little, the strange figure said with a sheepish grin. Yep. That's me. Awesome entrances and all. Never saw why you felt the need to go through all the trouble of making a cool entrance, dope. Sasuke admitted confused. It's all a matter of presentation. If you are awesome you have to remember every pony of that. It gives to the show a whole bigger meaning. Dash explained with fiery eyes as she took fly in her excited talk. See? Someone got it. High five, girl. Naruto said making Dash sprint to bump her hoof on his open palm. I like ya, Dash-chan. He said amused. Same here, you are an awesomeness holder just like me. Dash answered winking, making both laugh. Grrrr. Hinata meanwhile looked at the cyan mare while growling subtly. Well, let's keep reading, shall we? Luna said as she looked at the two girls in apprehension, dreading the moment in which the pairing will be forcefully read aloud. He was a tall, imposing stallion with 3 markings on each cheek, wearing a strange bandana with a leaf engraved on it, his body was seemingly made of golden fire forming a light-colored coat on his back and a dark-colored bodysuit underneath that covered his torso reaching down to his front legs up to the hooves and then down to his back legs. This time stopping just above his hooves but also changing the latter's color so to look like those two were made of the same fire-like energy of the cloak, his wings too left behind tiny swirls of flames as he folded them on his back. The stranger was also sporting a light-colored circle on his abdomen, as well as golden markings around his collar and black ones on his forehead around his horn. On the back of the coat there was a strange marking of an eye. Unknown to them that was indeed the symbol of the 6 paths in Jutsu. A Rinnegan above 9 Magatama. Ah. I am in 6 path sage mode. 6 path what? We will explain later, Miss Twilight. Who are you? Twilight asked in surprise before she looked behind him and from where he came, thing that had her paling considerably once understood who he was. Name's Naruto. Nice to meet ya. The stallion answered while still looking at the deep gash Nightmare Moon left on the road with her tumbling. Why you are the prisoner? Why you are out? The purple unicorn asked with a shriek. Hey. I am not the Bujiman. Naruto said pouting. I guess I got a bad impression from what Princess Celestia told me and the need to keep you imprisoned, the purple unicorn answered unsure. But you do not think the same, right? He asked worried. Not really, you seem to be a nice pawn guy. Yep. A nice guy, so it's nothing to be worried about. Thank you. Think nothing of it. She answered smiling. Grrrr. You okay, Twilight? Who is he? One of the other girls with her asked. Celestia was holding him sealed away in the hope of helping him reintegrate with Equestria after certain circumstances but now he is out. Why now? She answered. I sensed some bad intentions and decided to help. Where is that woman that trapped me? The flaming stallion asked. Oh. I know that. She had been sent on the sun by that big dark meanie. The pink mare of the group answered with a cheerful voice. So she is dead? Naruto asked. No, she is certainly alive as her magic is attuned to the sun, Twilight answered. I see, how did we bring her back? I want to be the one kicking her ass, and I. Blank, the shy Pegasus muttered. What? If you have to be that rude, can you at least not curse? I, if it is not a problem, she replied while looking down. Never, if an ass it is, an ass he is going to call it. Sakura said, smirking. Hey. I am not like that. Yes you are, dope. Sasuke answered, smirking. Not my style, if an ass it is, an ass I am going to call it, Naruto answered, making Dash snort at his serious expression. Told you. Damn it, Sakura-chan. We need the elements of harmony to stop her, and me and the others were about to go retrieve them, Twilight said. Ah. I see. Do you want me to keep her occupied then? He asked. Would you help us? Because contrary to what Celestia thinks, I am actually one of the good guys, I just don't like being forced to leave behind my friends and home, because apparently I was never told that I came from here, Naruto answered. I am sorry, Twilight said meekly. Were you the one that called me here? He asked. Well no. She answered. Then why you apologies? I know who I am angry with, so I won't go around attacking random people, the stallion answered. That was a very mature answer, Mr. Naruto. Thank you, Twi-chan. Stop seducing my boyfriend. Hinata-chan. Okay. We are wasting time. Can you keep her occupied until we return? Rainbow Dash asked. Boy. I am a girl. She hissed angrily. Sorry girl, I am completely different from whatever you have seen up until now, give me some credit, he said, smirking. Thou are indeed different, Nightmare Moon growled as she reappeared above the group to show her bruised face twisted into a furious snarl. Took you long enough, princess. Did I give you boo-boo? Naruto asked, amused. Ah. Battle quip page. It's been a while since we met a worthy opponent in this discipline, we used to be simply unbeatable. Luna said with a longing sigh. Then you would love to fight those three, they are masters of it, Tsunade said, pointing at Naruto, Sasuke and Kakashi, that immediately smiled smugly in answer. And what about me? Sakura said, offended. Meh. You are still learning, you lack the really sharp tongue necessary for it, the busty woman answered, shrugging. Shanra the Pincat muttered, sulking. You insolent fool. Beggin. She answered while amassing storm clouds around herself and launching several bolts of lightning at him. Go take those elements. I'll buy you as much time as I can. He answered while disappearing in a burst of light and incredibly dodging each and every lightning bolt before head-butting the alicorn with enough strength to send both through several houses and making the terrain tremble from the impact. That was fast. Dash said with wide eyes before getting dragged away with the others. Yao, you are the most annoying, insufferable, miserable brute we ever had the misfortune to meet. Nightmare Moon hissed as her horn glowed white-hot in power from her rage alone. Thank you, I like to leave a good impression. It's a pity that I will only keep you occupied while the others bring here those elements or whatever, but at least I will make some exercise while we wait, I have been sealed for way too long for my tastes, Naruto answered, chuckling. And you think you will be able to stop us? And with what kind of army? The alicorn asked, smirking. Look, I'll tell you in terms that even you will understand, I am a one-stallion army. Naruto answered. The FFT. He is not joking, Miss Dash. Believe us, we saw him in action. You fool, have you any idea how many times we saw young Pegasus and unicorns call themselves like that? It has lost its meaning nowadays. She said, laughing. Wanna bet? I think we were going to take you. Haiju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Massive shadow clone technique, Naruto yelled as his horn flared up even more before thousands of clones of himself, all sporting the same flaming cloak, appeared around him and Nightmare Moon. Darn. We told you so. Seriously, Nightmare Moon squeaked as the horde of clones plus original rained on her from every possible direction. Sigh. We are starting to think that this was not an idea as good as we thought. She muttered sadly. Everfree Forest with Twilight and the others. The small group was running, or in Dash case flying, as fast as they could towards the abandoned castle, the purple unicorn said the elements had been hidden in. We are almost there. Keep running. Twilight yelled. You think that he will really be able to distract her long enough? Rarity asked, worried. From what I can tell you about it, Celestia called here a pony that had been banished just like Nightmare Moon, the problem is that the place he had sent to was a world drowning in wars that turned him into an hardened warrior. He had apparently lost any memory about Equestria, and so now he may resent us for basically pony-napping him away from his Hama, somehow gained friends in that violent place, and so he rightfully doesn't like the situation. But the princess was hoping to have him understand that his place is here and that he will be able to find new friends. Unfortunately, he got free before he could calm down enough to have us explain everything peacefully, and now I don't know what to do. She answered as faraway echoes of explosions were still reaching them no matter how deep in the woods they were moving. Began with a violent world, Tsunade muttered bitterly. Although, considering their standards, Sasuke said, shrugging. It is still bad manners to point that out, she replied huffing. We have other standards, that is by now clear. But it is also true that it doesn't excuse us for repetitively remember that, Celestia added nodding. The one that wrote this doesn't know both our worlds in detail, since for her we are works of fiction, so I guess a tiny bit of misinterpretation can be excused. Luna said. She must be angry already to have been robbed of her story, aggravating her further about this would be bad. Kakashi said humming. I didn't rob anybody. Anarchy answered indignant. You did, idiot. Sasuke answered waving him off. Hey. Whatever, just be quiet. Discord added silencing his cousin. You know. We should organize some exchange, some of us going to their world and some of them come here to help understanding. Dash offered. We are okay with it. Luna said immediately. You are biased, sister. You love the series. Celestia answered laughing. We are still okay with the idea. It is something to think about but with each party under Jinjutsu or magic or whatever making them appear like the locals, even if we can pass your kind as just wandering summons visiting Konohamans would make quite an impact in your world. Tsunade said. I am sure we will be able to work out the details. The Sun Alicorn answered nodding. That being said, the chapter is almost finished, we shall continue reading. Luna added clearing her throat to continue reading. The fact that he's helping us instead of that crazy mare is a good start though. Applejack answered. You heard him, he is an hero. Of course he will help us. Pinkie Pie added smiling. I only know that Celestia defined him the most destructive entity ever seen and that she needed him for something, maybe she hoped to use him against Nightmare Moon in case of emergency, or at least as a way to buy her, or in this case us, time to use the elements of harmony, Twilight answered as a dense mist was slowly rising around them and rapidly getting thicker. He holds the same title in Konoha too, Bachan. Hush. You know it's true. You silly fools. As if some pony could really stop us. Nightmare Moon's voice resounded around the small group, although an edge of exhaustion managed to slip through her tone. By how you talk it seems that he still managed to take a toll on you, Dash said with a challenging tone. Insolent. It was by mere luck that he managed to catch us by surprise. The disembodied voice replied angrily. You sure? As far as I remember it was you the one to turn into mist and run towards here, a male voice said in amusement. You? Nightmare Moon roared. And who else? The flaming stallion said from a tree branch. How did you find me? In this state I can sense your presence, you may not have chakra like me, but you all have such ridiculous reserves of spiritual energy that you people call magic that I could still track you down. Satisfied. Naruto answered as part of the mist condensed back into the alicorn, showing how her body was covered in bruises while standing on shaking legs. You still need to defeat us. And as for now you still lack in power, you weakling. The alicorn spat furious before cringing at the glare she received in answer. It. Never do that. Sasuke said taking in an hissing breath. What? AJ asked curious. Underestimate him, it's a bad move, he takes it as a challenge to prove you wrong, the Uchiha answered touching his jaw grimacing in probable phantom pains from past fights with said blonde. Yeah, he does that. Tsunade admittedly sighing. Very stubborn while doing that too. Sakura added. He gets very one-track like in Minset until he succeeds. Kakashi said nodding sagely. Screw you, guys. Hey. Can I switch side and join you? My friends are a bunch of mean bastards. Naruto answered offended. I too want to switch side, Kurama added lifting his hand. Okay. Luna, please, stop acting like a groupie, Celestia said sighing in dismay. Never. I usually don't like to overdo but I hate when people underestimate me, so for the next 3 minutes only I will show you the next step of my abilities, because remember, if I didn't use my full power up until now, it was only because I don't want you dead. Get ready. He answered with narrowed eyes. Is that so? Thou think you can scare us with some bold claim? Show us then. Nightmare Moon answered. Add. Move. Stuff it, team. Really? Naruto asked taken aback at her answer. Hoi. It's her funeral after all, show her my avatar form, I bet they never saw anything like that here. Kurama said with a feral smirk. Sigh. I hate when the bad guys go all I can take everything you can dish out, it makes me feel bad to then beat them to dust, the flaming stallion said, before his body seemingly exploded into a towering pillar of energy that then rapidly took the massive shape of Kurama's body along the 9 tails and rings around the eyes to accompany the skeleton-like lines on the rest of the body. The unicorns, Pegasus, Earth Pony and one alicorn present could only watch as the avatar of energy kept growing in size until it completely dwarfed the whole forest and the surrounding area before roaring with unmatched anger at a millimeter of Nightmare Moon's face. Yes, Fluttershy-san. Tsunade asked. Visual help. The shy pony asked. In answer, the blonde shinobi smirked and once got the green light from Anarchy, simply activated his sixth path sage mode to summon around himself the towering chakra construct representing Kurama to take in huge breath. Roar. And then letting out a deafening roar to enact the scene, the moon alicorn had just read, almost blowing away the observing ponies. Please don't ask for more visual helps, Shy. Rarity, with her mane standing ramrod rigid from the power of the roar, asked unamused. Okay. The other answered weakly. The arc animation didn't make it justice. Just keep reading, Luna. Celestia answered groaning. And while the girls were surprised by reflex at seeing that happen, the corrupted alicorn princess was showing all the signs of being extremely worried as her eyes were bulging wide open while their eyes and pupils had visibly shrunken to the point of looking almost absent. What they didn't know though was that Nightmare Moon was also screaming inwardly as for some reason her voice kind of refused to come out of her open mouth. I wonder why, no comments allowed, Miss Dash. Are you satisfied, little horsey? My companion here might like to play nice, but I don't. Kurama said using the avatar's mouth before one of his huge paws grabbed the still shocked alicorn to throw her back to Ponyville like a shrieking bullet and with enough strength to have her leave behind a sonic boom out of the sheer speed her body reached. Sorry for Kurama's antics, he is usually more calm. Go fetch those elements, if she wants me and him to get serious, then she has to hope you will find them fast. My techniques are not made to be gentle, Naruto added before the huge nine-tailed fox made of energy sprinted towards the corrupted princess with a new deafening war cry. Okay, Twilight answered with a weak voice while ignoring Dash trying to revive the fainted Rarity and Fluttershy behind her. That's one hey of a talent, Sugarcube, but what talent is that? Applejack asked while trailing in awe the amount of destruction the huge Biju avatar left behind just by moving. It's just awesomeness, just like me. Dash answered smugly. That's right. Stop harassing my man, you horse hussy. You're starting to worry me, Hinata. Sakura admitted. I honestly don't know, but let's move fast, because I fear there won't be enough Nightmare Moon for us to use the elements on otherwise, Twilight answered before the still shaking group renowned their efforts towards the elements of harmony. With Naruto several minutes later. Is this more of your liking, princess? If I were you, I would stay still and wait for those pretty girls to help you with those elements, the stallion said from his place inside Kurama's spectral head. What are you? How can you do such things? Why did my sister left such an equine creature like you anywhere near Equestria? Nightmare Moon asked while still keeping distance from the enormous creature. That's a very rude thing to say, sister. We were corrupted and we would like to see you in our place, Selly. No matter what she did, it didn't seem possible to stop or deter. He could break illusions faster than how she could cast them. Any spell she used was either dodged or countered by his clones or the spiraling spheres of energy he could summon on the tip of his horn that if he didn't outright let her struck him and then get up as if nothing happened, and the huge body of energy he was piloting was apparently totally impervious to anything she threw at it through telekinesis, no matter how big. Believe it or not, I originally came from here before she sent me away, where I ended I had Kurama here sealed inside me, that had me gaining the ability to use and wield chakra, the energy everyone there had in their bodies. From there I just grew up becoming the strongest ever before she stupidly thought that I would have gladly left behind everything I had gained after breaking my back on a daily basis and risking my life to fight crazy bastards with dreams about world domination once brought here. I even fought against a veritable goddess and came out victorious. And now look at me. I am here fighting a tantrum-throwing flying horse that could not accept the fact that someone would sleep during the night. So do me a favor and drop whatever you are doing that is keeping Celestia on the sun so she can come here and send me back. The other answered. The goddess? Celestia said with wide eyes. She called herself that, but she only had more power than usual, that's all. Sasu clarified. The rabbit goddess? Luna asked. Yep. Kagaya. She appears in your manga as well? Naruto asked. She is an ancient and evil alicorn, yes. The arc is still ongoing so please, no spoilers. The Moon Princess answered. Our lips are sealed. Both boys answered in chorus. We thank you. Never. I will be the only ruler of Equestria even if it kills me. Nightmare Moon said while flying as high as she could above the stallion, deciding to focus all her power in a single attack and uncaring that it would probably cause Celestia to break free without a great deal of her magic, holding the other alicorn exiled. She is trying something, can you feel it? Kurama asked. Yep, her last trial we show her that she really needs to stay put. Naruto asked back. I guess we really have to, just angle it a little high though, we don't need to kill her, the Biju answered nodding. Take this and disappear, you monster. Nightmare Moon yelled at the top of her lungs as a thick bolt of pure condensed darkness went shot from her horn towards Naruto. Soar Loserbij Gamarasan Shuriken. Naruto said while converting a truth-seeking ball into a tailed beast ball hovering on the tip of his horn and adding wind-nature chakra to create 4 shuriken-like blades around it before hurling it at the alicorn. And you don't like to go overkill, Naruto? I want answer to that, Kakashi-sensei. The two attacks met briefly before the former shinobi's jutsu simply cut through Nightmare Moon's attack, erasing it from existence, shocking the corrupted princess to the core that had only the time to summon a quick shield around herself before the jutsu flew above her. The resulting explosion completely engulfed her body, shooting her to the ground at breakneck speed and leaving her smoking, heavily bruised body in the middle of a huge crater, her armor almost completely gone and her back showing the most bruises and probably still holding wings, only thanks to the armor she was wearing and that got atomized in her place. You okay? Naruto asked after dropping the chakra avatar and nearing her with a short trot. Stay away. The exhausted and surprisingly scared Nightmare Moon shrieked while scampering away from the flaming stallion until her back was pressed against a wall. I angled it so it would not have touched you, as I said my intention was about buying time for the others, not killing you, he answered with a sad smile. WWY. If you hate Celestia you should have just left me do what I wanted. She would have suffered 1,000 years on the sun for her sins. She answered while leaning even closer to the wall at seeing him walk near her. You needed to be helped, since those elements can save you then I decided to help, I would have hoped to do so without getting violent, but you were not hearing reasons, Naruto answered. At least you had put your own issues with me aside to help Equestria, Celestia said smiling thankful. Hey, if people need help and I can give a hand, why shouldn't I do something? Naruto answered embarrassed. A very noble spirit, the Sun Alicorn answered pleased. Boobs down, Luna muttered glaring at her sister. He has not your name written anywhere, he is free game. She answered back jokingly. We'll see. Brrrrrrrr. At the new possessive growl of Hinata the rest of the shinobi contingent simply inched a little away to leave her more space. We are here. We have the elements. Twilight yelled as she and the others reached the duo. It was not easy. That mad mare had left behind illusions and angry monsters to stop us, Dash said in annoyance. Those poor animals were also forced to attack us, Fluttershy added. When did you do that? Naruto asked curious. During our strategic retreat, Nightmare Moon answered. You people call running away like that here? Be quiet, Mr. Duckbutt. How come I am called like that here as well? You work fast, that's for sure, the flaming stallion said surprised. Thank you, she answered while a bit surprised by the sudden colloquial almost friendly tone the monstrous pony in front of her had started using. Can we use the elements, dear? I think Ponyville suffered enough from her attack, Rarity asked with a raised eyebrow while pointing with an hoof at the destruction surrounding the group. Most of that is my fault I fear, my jutsu are kind of destructive, but I will help repair everything once done. A blushing Naruto said while stepping to the side. You better hope Ma farm is still intact or I'll buck you as hard as I buck Ma trees. Applejack said with narrowed eyes. My attack shouldn't have touched it, I swear. The other replied while rising both hooves. You better. If I said I didn't then I didn't, AJ-chan. I take pride in my aim, TCH. What are you gonna do? Nightmare Moon asked with narrowed eyes. Use the elements of harmony on you and purify whatever had corrupted you, Twilight answered. And he will stop attacking us? She asked while stealing glances at the flaming Naruto near her. Yes. The purple unicorn answered uncertain. Then yes, please do so. This is our best side. Nightmare Moon answered with an happy smile while presenting her left cheek. I feel kind of offended, Naruto muttered pouting as a rainbow-colored ray of light engulfed the corrupted princess. That must be the most feminine-looking attack I had ever seen, I swear I felt my manliness drop a few points just by looking at it. Kurama muttered while shaking his head. Kurama, please. This is hardly the moment for jokes. We still need to find a way to return home. Naruto thought sighing. Once the blinding light died down a new alicorn stood in place of Nightmare Moon, showing that the corruption had twisted more than just the princess's mind. She was now a tall indigo-colored pony with bright aqua eyes and large feathered wings on either side of her, black patches could be seen her hind legs under the white crescent moon marking on her flank. She was now wearing dull blue horseshoes, if that was the name of the thing. Naruto wondered unsure, and a bib-like piece of black cloth around her neck adorned by the same crescent moon insignia. Her mane was long, flowing even in Wind's absence, and sparkling just like if the stars in the sky were tangled in there. Well, that's a nice change, sorry for hurting you. But in my defense you were not yourself, Naruto offered with an apologetic tone. We would have preferred being saved in a less painful manner, yes, but we do appreciate the gesture all the same. We are Luna, Moon Princess and sister of Celestia, and you all, Element Bearers and Warrior of Light, have our deepest gratitude. Luna answered while painfully bowing to the two groups. Oh my gosh. A real princess thanked us. Pinky said with a wide smile. So those rocks are the elements. They don't look threatening, the flaming stallion said uncertain. Compared to you, nothing is threatening, dear. I don't know if I should feel offended or proud at that, Rarity-chan. Actually, those are just the former husks of the elements, their true power now reside in the young ponies you have in front of you, a new voice said as Celestia finally reappeared in the middle of the group. Celestia? Luna said with a meek voice. It's all okay, sister. I am happy to see you return to your senses, the Sun Princess said while hugging her sister with happy tears streaming down her cheeks. I helped resolving your problem with your sister, now send me back. Naruto demanded with narrowed eyes. I am sorry, but this is not possible, Celestia had the time to say before the stallion reappeared in front of her with a withering glare on his face. What? He bellowed with enough force to kick up dust and crack the terrain behind the princess. Ah. The Uzumakis, I am very pissed at what you just said, kind of. Wakashina-sen was very adept at that, even Minato-sensei trembled whenever faced with that. Kakashi said with a sad chuckle. You make it sound like we have a nasty temper. The blonde man muttered, pouting. One just has to look at you and Tsunade, dope. You both have the same blood and temper. Sasuke answered. Then guess who will be my next sparring partner once we have done here? And remember, since I am still the Hokage, you can only stand there immobile and take it like a wuss without retaliate. The woman replied with a chilling smile. Oh, God, the Uchiha whimpered in dread. Can you teach us that smile? Our own is no longer enough to make guard squirm as much as we would like, Luna asked. Once done with this chapter I'll give you some pointers. We appreciate the gesture. Eck off. The spell I used to turn you into an human and then back into a pony can be used only on Seven. If I send you back you would still remain in your current and true body, the princess answered after managing to bite down the high-pitched tone her voice momentarily took in surprise. Why it can be used only once? And why then you called me back? The stallion asked. It was an experimental ritual created by Starswirl. He theorized that with enough power an equestrian could be changed into another shape, but also added that any form different by something of our world could have put enough strain on the subject to kill them. I took a gamble into turning you into an human, since they are creatures completely different from us in mind. Body and spirit. It was by momentarily turning you into an alicorn and then sacrificing that particular transformation that I could do it, using the resulting backlash of power to fuel the ritual, but your body had to be turned into that of an human infant, so to minimize the danger of killing you by using a smaller shape. Celestia answered. That sounds like something really dangerous, your highness. I am of the same advice, Twilight. And yet you still used it and I am sorry about it, Miss Tsunade. And you can't do that again. I survived the extraction of my Biju, a thing that usually kills the victim, and even his reintroduction in my seal. I am certain I will survive some magic trick of a long-horned, self-centered horse just like you. He hissed back. Listeni, I'm asking you to give Equestria a try, your life should have been here. It was by fear of Luna's corruption influencing you as well that I acted so recklessly, but I was desperate at the time and could not find another solution, the Sun Princess answered with a pleading tone. And Konoha. And my friends. The life I had fought so hard to have. I finally got them to acknowledge my existence, you egoistical bitch. Naruto yelled in fury. Sadly true, if this takes place right after the issue with Kagaya, then what he said is true, Kakashi admitted. Your life was really that bad? Pinky asked saddened. It wasn't stellar, but I managed to fulfill my dreams and make friends all the same, the blonde shinobi answered. It doesn't help the fact that usually people used to not trust him and his abilities, but they usually apologized after getting proven wrong, Sakura explained. You among all of them, Sakura-chan. I was young and a bit foolish, but I got better. Glad to hear that your life was still good no matter all that. Celestia said elated. Hey. Don't you dare, Twilight was about to say before freezing at the intense furious glare she got from the stallion. What? He muttered with a throaty growl. Stop glaring at them, Naruto. They don't need a visual help. Sorry. Various whimpers. Sigh. Listen, I know it's hard to accept, but this is your home, your world. Give us a chance and in exchange I will find a way for you to contact your friends back in that world, like that you won't leave them behind completely, Celestia offered. Why not giving me a way to go back instead? He asked again, this time with eyes filled by pain and loss, actually hurting the princess more than his rage had before. You would return as a pony, I can't return you to an human body, it's too dangerous, she answered shaking her head. To the other's shock he just dropped down, crying silently and covering his head with his hooves. Oh, you still have Mekamon, brat. Say something. Kurama said in apprehension. It's all okay, they are your friends, they will understand and don't abandon you. You will still communicate with each other, is still something. Fluttershy said while nearing him and dropping down to be at eye level with him, her motherly side kicking in at seeing his desperate expression. I have lost everything. Why, what do you want from me? Didn't I do enough? Can't I have a little peace to enjoy my life? To have a girl, a family, he muttered angrily. Who is he, sister? Why did we pawn him from his home? You heard him, he had managed to get himself friends and probably a nice life, Luna asked confused. Because I wanted to reunite a mother with her son no matter what, and in my blind ignorance I did just that, uncaring of the damages I would have done to him, but in my defense, I never thought that he would have managed to have friends in such a violent place. I'm sorry, Celestia said, while helping Naruto to stand and even hugging him. A tense silence fell in the reading group at that. Sister? Is your counterpart really saying that we are his mother? Luna asked with wide eyes. Apparently. Celestia answered. And how is that supposed to happen? Naruto asked confused. I guess it will be explained later in this or directly in a later chapter, Hinata answered unsure. But I am curious about the workings of it all. The same. The author will either say you got adopted by Minato-sensei and Kushina, or you know. Don't say that. Tsunade hissed. Furry? Erg. What's that? Pinky asked curious. Trust us, you don't want to know. Sakura answered gagging, action echoed by the others of her group. I had a mother back in Konoha and a father, a man that I now wish to strangle with my hands or hooves or whatever. He answered. I am not putting this into discussion, but give your mother here a chance as well. She has every right as well as the woman that adopted you, Celestia answered as she stopped hugging him. And who is his mother? Luna asked. Well, you, sister, the Sun Princess said with a shy tone. Me, her? Both Naruto and Luna yelled at the same time while pointing at each other. Luna is the son you and Fierce Storm had 1,000 years Agamolstrom Knight, or just Maelstrom, since his father always defined that name as a mouthful to say, Celestia said uncertain. Fierce Storm? Ooh. We remember that soldier. A very nice piece of hunk. Good choice for a mate. Luna admitted chuckling. Luna? Celestia yelled scandalized. What? We may be a princess, but we are not a block of wood. We can still appreciate a good stallion when we see one. At least say it in a more dignified manner. Prude. I am more surprised she knows him. In the show that name never appears, Hinata admitted. Maybe she just used the right one by chance, Twilight offered. It probably is the case. Luna answered. Surprisingly, Naruto can be translated as Maelstrom in our language, so he had not exactly changed his name, she then added with a nervous laugh. The tense silence fell in the group as the shocked stallion dropped the sage mode to show a rust-colored fur with a yellow and still spiky mane, whiskers marks on his face, and the mark on his flank was of 9 foxtails, meeting with their white tip to form a spiral with a white center. I even had his clothes resized by the best fashion designers of Canterlot since he seemed to like those, and the bandana, Celestia said, trying to fill the awkward silence while pointing at the red with black flames jacket and the top half of the stallion's old orange and black jumpsuit he was wearing under it. He even had the pendant he won from Tsunade still around his neck. Visual help. Visual help. Dash said immediately. A minute. The very amused Naruto answered before using Unhinged to take the appearance the story said his counterpart had and using Celestia's body shape as a base for his own measures. So? The transformed Naruto asked smirking. Yes. AJ answered greatly interested. Shake that flank, pretty boy. Shake that moneymaker for me. Dash answered whistling. I wouldn't mind watching you come out from one of my pies any day, so feel free to pass by. Pinky admitted, winking amused. We call dibs. Luna added. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry. Please ignore them. I beg you, Celestia pleaded while face-palming, or huffing in this case, in complete shame. Just keep him away from Ponyville when looking like that, for his safety. A red-faced Twilight admitted. Come to Equestria if you ever need a new job though. I bet several fashion houses back in Manhattan would kill to have you as model, Rarity added while laughing at her friend's reactions. Hey. You see, team. They know what's cool and what's not. Naruto said smugly as he returned normal, chuckling at the disappointed whines he got from the girls. TCH. Then I'll show you. Sasuke answered, turning himself into a pony to flash his infamous Lone Avenger expression, patent pending. So? Too pretty. Too much angst. Angst boring. We still don't like your character. Ow, come on. Sasuke said in disbelief. Wrong audience, Sasuke. They have other standards. Kakashi said, patting the boy's back. Damn it. Princess Luna. Are you feeling well? Twilight asked to the wide-eyed alicorn that was fixating Naruto with unblinking eyes, not that the shell-shocked stallion was sporting a different expression. Oh. I think I know that expression. Kurama muttered in horror at seeing Luna's face split into a wide grin. Maelstrom. The princess squealed as she pounced on Naruto to hug the life out of him while nuzzling her cheek on his and chanting his name in pure happiness, wounds completely forgotten. Okay, what the fuck is happening here? The the stallion finally asked as he recovered his voice. Okay, with this we conclude the first chapter, any thoughts? Luna asked as the book floated away to hover between the two groups. It doesn't answer many questions, to be honest. Sasuke admitted. It's the first one, an introduction of sort, it is supposed to raise questions more than answering them. Twilight answered. Trust her, she loves books. Dash said smirking. Yes, I love reading so I am not ashamed of admitting that. The mayor said huffing. So I am supposed to be what? Unicorn or Pegasus? Naruto asked confused. By the description during our battle, you should be an alicorn as you had been described as possessing both an horn and wings. Luna answered. Isn't it too much starting from the higher class of pony as soon as he arrived? Rarity asked. Normally yes, but considering that the Naruto used is our own after the war against Madara and Kagayamabe, the author felt safer to give him that status, so to not depower him too much, Kakashi, he too quite versed in the realm of fiction, explained. The details about the shinobi side of the story come from another author, the one of this story knows that suggested the alicorn shape for that reason exactly, I asked. Anarchy confirmed. Am I considered op in your manga too? The blonde man asked curious. Pretty much, the audience seems to think you to be a bit broken but we don't mind. Luna answered. Oh. Before Hinata melts down in suppressed rage, Sakura said making said girl stop growling to just look down embarrassed. Can you confirm that she will be paired with Naruto in this story all the same? Maybe she will be turned into a pony to help him decide to remain with you others. She then said. About that the moon alicorn said in discomfort. Yes. Tsunade asked paling in dread. We have read the initial A and well. Out with it. Hinata roared. The pairing is him with Dash. Luna admitted covering herself behind her wings to defend herself from the impending explosion. Why it? I don't mind, he makes an hot stallion, the rainbow-haired pony admitted smirking. I am gonna murder you. Both girls screamed as the Hyuga heiress launched herself to the chase of the Cyan Pegasus to enact revenge. While the brats play, I'll be the next one to read. The first chapters are always the lightest ones, so it won't be too much of a bother for me. Kurama said uninterested as the book flew towards him and got enlarged to fit in his massive hands. Shouldn't we stop them? Celestia asked worried. Let the Hyuga woman vent, it will be less of an hassle later if she gets exhausted from chasing that horsey. The Biju answered shrugging. You are finding this very fun, don't you? Discord said annoyed. Yes I am, cousin. Yes I am. Anarchy answered pleased. End of the chapter. Now that we have all calmed down, Tsunade said, sending a pointed glare at Hinata, making her blush demurely and look down. I think we can continue, she then said taking in a huge calming breath. I am deeply sorry about my outburst, it won't happen anymore, the Hyuga heiress muttered ashamed. It's okay, my dear. What is important is that nobody got hurt, Celestia answered with a gentle smile. I went darn close at being hurt though, Dash muttered as she looked at the missing feathers of her wings with sad eyes and trembling lips. I was wondering if you look at it in here there seem to be the most powerful warriors of our respective worlds blocked in this place, won't there be troubles if the Hokage, our best Jounin, Naruto, the Uchiha brat, the Hyuga heiress and the second best medic of Konoha are here? Kurama asked cautious. The tailed beast is right. We and you are here, sister. And the elements of harmony too. Equestria is defenseless. Luna said in horror. This place exists outside time itself, for the others we will be gone for barely an instant, well instead, we will be here reading this thing, Discord answered yawning bored. Yup. I want to read a story with Dissy, but I don't want to interfere in your schedule, so this was the best option. Once done it we will go back home, and it will look like we were gone for barely a second. Anarchy said clearly pleased with himself about his idea. Is he always this hyped? Rarity asked annoyed. No, he can be even worse. Discord answered groaning. Meow. Whatever. If you will let me, I will read this chapter myself, the first ones are always more about world building, so it shouldn't be too much of a pain to read it, the Biju said uncaring while clearing his throat as the book containing the fanfiction grew to match his sizes. Just in case, get ready to call here more people, depending how long this story is we may need more readers. Kakashi offered making the others look at him in shock. Okay. Anarchy answered with a thumbs up. Share the pain. The masked man answered with a mischievous eye smile. Good for me. Sasuke answered lifting his hand. Hanai. Kurama growled. Sorry. Bid chapter 2. Naruto or Maelstrom, who am I? Sakura answered grimacing. What? Said blonde man asked confused. I guess Sakura has the same bad feeling I have. Tsunade answered in apprehension. Bad feelin'? AJ asked curious. The title alone implies that in this one Naruto will have troubles adjusting to being a pony, Sasuke answered. Why would he? Pinky asked confused. I am sure the chapter will explain it, but it would be unnatural for someone to immediately forget his or her previous life just because he or she was told they had been turned into another species altogether a technicalical but trauma-like experience, since it would pretty much mean they have lived a big giant lie lasting their whole lives. That everything they believed to be real instead was not, and that they will be forced to leave everything behind, Tsunade explained as she grabbed both Naruto's shoulders in an iron grip. You think my counterpart won't take the change well? The shinobi muttered with a low voice. You would? The busty woman asked. No. He wouldn't. Celestia asked. If our mangas portrayed him the exact way he is in reality, in the story your character just forced him to leave behind the only family he ever had, those very same people we are reading this story with. Luna answered sighing. And what about his parents? Twilight asked confused. They are dead, Kurama said bluntly making the ponies gasp. How? Dash asked with wide eyes. I went on a rampage and almost destroyed his village. The man that forced me to do it pulled me outside of the seal on Naruto's mother, almost killing her. His father instead died to seal me inside Naruto's body. His mother died from the wounds I inflicted her as she was holding me down to complete the sealing. The Biju then said shaking his head. Oh, the Equestria group winced as one at that. You know I no longer think it's your fault if I am an orphan, furball. Naruto said with an encouraging smile. You don't, but I still do. I am sorry. Celestia said looking down in shame. Hey. It is all happening in a story, not in reality. Cheer up. The blonde man offered. But I am still the one doing it and I am starting to wonder if I would act the same way in that situation, especially with the misconceptions we have about humanity. I'm scared of all this being a very possible representation of how I would act. The Sun Alicorn answered ashamed. To everyone's surprise Naruto simply chuckled, got up, and then walked to sit near the Sun Princess to encircle her shoulders with an arm to pull her closer to himself. Better? As you can see, I am not angry. He said leaning his head on top of hers. Thank you. Celestia answered with a clearly elated smile herself. Good lord, he is befriending them too. Sasuke muttered groaning and face-palming. It wouldn't be him otherwise, Sakura answered chuckling while patting her boyfriend's back. It's not that they are hard to befriend either. Kakashi added amused. Resolved that new issue, the reading could finally begin with Kurama acting as reader-narrator for the chapter. Anterlit Castle Throne Room 3 days after the battle against Nightmare Moon. Celestia was suffering from the third headache of the week, all thanks to her sister Luna that just couldn't stop gushing on and on about how much of a stud son was or about how much proud of him she was for growing that strong. Not even the bandages covering most of her body or the limp in her steps was deterring her from praising how well Maelstrom Knight had fought her when she was Nightmare Moon. We would never act like that. Luna, when we were young you used to go on and on about how smart you were whenever you managed to learn a new spell faster than me, and even now you still act like that. We cannot condone such lies being spread by our own sister. You have a really cute pout, Luna-chan. Thank you Mr. Naruto. Ooh-oh. And that flaming mane of energy. Did I mention how studly and dashing he was while protecting Ponyville? Because he was. Luna asked with a wide smile. Yes you did. 5 times already. Celestia yelled as even her legendary self-control couldn't take it anymore. Only 5 times. You were containing yourself, Luna. Hoo. Whining. Silly. Something wrong, sister? The Moon Princess asked. Lenadier Sisteri understand that you think the world of your son, no matter how badly he had injured you in that fight. He was just trying to save his mommy, sister. Don't be so mean. Luna please. He was just trying to save his mommy. I give up. Even the story is against me. Celestia yelled in despair. And I go on without interruptions. Kurama hissed growling. Sorry Mr. Kurama. The Sun Alicorn answered sheepishly. TCH. The nerve. Not even strong enough to get some ribbing from a fanfiction. We all know it is a parody. The Biju answered making the Sun Princess blush crimson in embarrassment. I simply got carried away she muttered with a low voice. He was just trying to save his mommy, nothing worthy of a headache as those are only minor bruises, Luna said unconcerned. The fact that she could so calmly ignore wounds that would have had any other seasoned pony, soldier or alicorn alike, fall over and scream in utter agony just because her son had been the cause of them, had been already registered as a medical miracle worth of study. That aside Celestia growled. I would be more worried about the fact that he has still to speak a word ever since we took him back here, that and the fact that he refuses to eat in favor to just meditate and I fear he is planning something to escape, the Sun Princess then said. It wouldn't be me otherwise, I am not one to just sit down and despair, yep. Yamato can testify that. Ow, come on, Bachan. How many times you others are going to remember me I smashed his Mokuten prison to go fight the team. Until your dying breath, brat. Do not pull me in the discussion, please, dope. Why would he? I am here now and can be his mother once again. We will be able to study magic or fly together. I will be finally able to teach him how to one day take my place with the rising of the moon. Why would he leave now that we are back into being a family? Luna asked back dumbfounded. I think your character is making the mistake of believing that just by being back Naruto will forget his previous life, Luna-san. You think so, Mr. Kakashi? Why? It's just my view of the thing, considering what you just said in the story. It does sounds like you are doing that, sister. Luna, this was said with as much calmness and as slowly as Celestia could. Yes. We took him away from the life he believed was his own, from his friends, from a girl he apparently wished to date. She was a peasant. Completely not worthy of him. Luna said with a grimace. Listen to what I say. Celestia roared while opening her wings wide for added effect. And what do you want to say? Let's hear. Luna yelled back. By the way, I am a clan heiress of a wealthy and almost noble clan, hardly someone you can call a commoner, Hinata said, sounding almost miffed. Your defense we probably found inconsequential learning more about our son's mare friend, Luna answered shrugging. That's even more rude, Luna-san, Sakura muttered face palming. It is. She doesn't seem to have all this noble look, even in our manga. We preferred the priestess mare for the final pairing, she at least had the gift of foresight. She asked unsure. Just keep reading, Kurama. Before things escalate again. Tsunade said, groaning at the Hyuga heiress and Moon Alicorn short war of glares. Yeah. Stop it. The girl said, annoyed at Luna's glare. No. Luna answered in childish stubbornness. Stop it. No. Stop. It. The RRT. The Alicorn answered by blowing a short raspberry. That's it. Stopping it myself, Kurama. Read. Tsunade roared. I am reading, I am reading. Listen to what I say. Celestia roared while opening her wings wide for added effect. And what do you want to say? Let's hear. Luna yelled back. He will try his darn best to run away and return to that world, pony or not, Pegasus or Alicorn alike, nothing and nobody will stop him. He will try to go back there no matter what we say or do, and you can be certain that should we decide to force the issue, he will do everything in his power to make sure we will regret that choice, and you saw him first hoof, he can be devastating when he wants to. And if we show ourselves as being the only thing stopping him from returning to what he believes is his home, he will unleash all his power on us, and unless we both banish him on the moon, I fear he will give us one of our greatest battle stat, if even the moon banishment will be able to stop him, as I fear that very few things can, Celestia said while looking inside Luna's eyes with her hardest stare. Nah. I fell from the moon all the way to the earth and barely felt it. So I bet I would just jump all the way down by myself if you did that. When did that happen? We don't remember that scene. Ops. Spoiler warning, Luna-chan. Darn it. Boo, but I am his mother. Why would he leave me? We can be a family now. The other asked with horrified eyes, royal tone forgotten as it was a too serious matter for her to remember the lessons she and her sister took in their younger days. He doesn't remember your being his mother, as he told us time and time again, to him his mother had always been named Kishinovan, showing him once again your memories of the few years you, Storm and him had been able to spend together had been useless, he refused everything and answered with the memories he has of Konoha and the people he met in there. The son Alicorn answered with a sad tone. He was probably grasping at those memories out of desperation, unable to cope with the idea of no longer being able to come back to Konoha and us, or even feeling unable to understand which memories he should follow. You think so, Miss Tsunade? Unfortunately yes, Fluttershy-san. Me and Inoichi saw similar cases in victims of long-lasting genjutsu, illusions. But why? Why did they erase his memories? Just to give to Thathuman a son when she couldn't have one of her own? Luna demanded with watering eyes. In hindsight, they did the right thing, had he remembered being a Pegasus he would have had problems adjusting to his human body, but you can see the results even with his restarting as a blank slate. His experiences in there, his friends, his every action ever since he appeared in that world as an infant had shaped him into a kind soul. The few memories of his adoptive parents and other parental figures in his life, like that Jiraiya and Hiruzen, had taught him the value of hard work, of compassion and camaraderie. They showed him how to fight for what's right and to help the more weak and protect the innocents. They didn't just give him to some random human. They made sure he could develop into a respectable human, and they did. You can't deny that even if now he has a human mind inside the body of an Alicorn, he is no different from any other pony of Equestria. Celestia answered. I bet Sarutobi Jiji is finding all this really amusing, sensei. Probably, along Jiraiya having a big fat laugh at your being a pony. Who are those people? His parental figure, Miss Dash, the men that raised him and taught him what he knows. Can share some copies of the manga if you are curious, they seem to mirror their life quite well enough, thank you Princess Luna. But he doesn't see me as his mother. Luna screamed strongly enough to have the windows rattle and scare her sister. He doesn't look at me with eyes filled with the love a colt should have. He doesn't come to me to get comforted whenever sad, he doesn't acknowledge the bond we share ever since I delivered him to this world. He doesn't even call me mother with conviction or love. She then said. You know. I bet you would have made an awesome mother, Naruto admitted. Oh, hush. You will make us blush. Luna answered, bumping his shoulder with a hoof. Admittedly, you seem to share a temper similar to Kushina-san, she vehemently argued about her precious Naruto-kun, saying mommy is his first word, actually beating up Minato-sensei to a pulp whenever he tried to suggest he would have said daddy first. Kakashi admitted with a sad-sounding chuckle. Ooh, man. The young man in question answered, embarrassed. You know. I still have that picture of you Sarutobi-sensei took when you took your first steps that I have found in his office, you were really cute. Tsunade added with a cruel smirk. Arg. The young blonde man bellowed in agony as he collapsed on the floor from the shame. Can we see it? Fluttershy asked immediately. Yep. Kept it in my wallet ever since he went in his training trip with Jiraiya. She answered, proud. No. Quit being so melodramatic, darling. Nobody will doubt your stallionhood. Rarity said. I use manliness for that. Twilight answered. That, you won't lose it, but a cute picture is still a cute picture, the fashionista finished saying, amused. Damn it. Here it is. Oh. The pony group gushed as one seen the picture. Hey. What happened? You used to be cute. Sakura said, smirking. Chibi, Naruto-kun. Hinata said with a very red face. Please, somebody just kill me, the blonde man pleaded in tears. That's why I keep my pictures in a secret safe, dope. Sasuke answered, amused. He doesn't look at me with eyes filled with the love a colt should have. He doesn't come to me to get comforted whenever sad, he doesn't acknowledge the bond we share ever since I delivered him to this world. He doesn't even call me mother with conviction or love. She then said. And that is one of my many regrets, sister, moving you two aside is showing more downsides than what I wish to believe possible, Celestia muttered in answer with her head lowered down. Then why you didn't try sending him with me on the moon? Why? I had already lost the stallion I loved in the war against the Griffins, why you had to take my son away as well? The Moon Princess asked with a voice broken by sobs. Luna. We are having a mental breakdown, do not take this too seriously, I am still going to say that that's a horrible idea. I feared that should he have come with you your own corruption would have slowly affected him as well, I couldn't even keep him here, by the time of your return time itself would have killed him, and had he become an alicorn out of the ordeal, then his own grief for losing, you would have had him go nightmare, just to force me to free Yaoi, had no other choice than send him elsewhere where time flowed differently, so that by the time of your return not long would have passed for him. Like that you two would have been able to stay together. I just didn't expect all this to turn into a huge mess, the Sun Princess answered. Then maybe you should have sent him with me, at least like that even in the cold pits of corruption we would have stayed together and he would have called me mother with all the affection and attachment he now denies me, Luna answered with a sigh. Hey, no need to say that, Luna-chan. There is no need to hug us either, Mr. Naruto. Oh. Sorry then, haha. Nobody told you to stop either, okay? Okay. Hahaha. Sister, stop speaking nonsense and let's try again, he is letting himself die while trying to return to a place that will never again accept him, they are humans and he is a pony, exception made for his friends, no pony else will accept him there for what he is, we need to help him understand this before it is too late and he see his former world turn its back to him, Celestia said pleadingly. I won't let them do that. I will make their moon crash on their pitiful world should they hurt him. The other said with as much rage she could fit in her voice. Too late on that what? No spoilers, Kakashi-sensei. Ah, yes. You are right, Sakura. But now we want to know. Darn it. Now calm down, he is probably in the gardens, so it's there we will find him. The KK, I can do this, Luna answered nodding. You need to rest, Celestia said. No, I need my son to recognize me. Nothing else matters. She answered. Gardens few minutes later. Silently making their way to the gardens of the castle, the two princesses decided to stay hidden in the shadows and silently observe the blonde stallion sitting with closed eyes in the middle of the grass, sometimes muttering something under his breath and nodding. What is he saying? Luna asked whispering. It's the language of the world I had sent him to, he is muttering about being almost there as planning something. Celestia said before going wide-eyed. Maelstrom. The Moon Princess immediately yelled while showing herself to the shocked unicorn. I am sorry. I can't stay Harry, just can't. Naruto replied with haunted eyes that horrified the Moon Alicorn. NNH. What's wrong, Miss Tsunade? But why? Why you want to leave me? Luna asked in despair. My place is not here. What am I supposed to do? I am a shinobi, a ninja. My whole life was about protecting Konoha and my friends. I dreamed to become Hokage and be able to protect my precious people. I want to go home," he answered while shaking his head. Those seem signs of a mental nervous breakdown incoming, and in case of someone with Naruto's power, that is especially bad. That's why you seemed worried, Tsunade Shisho. Sakura said, grimacing. "Exactly, Sakura," Tsunade answered, nodding. "And that's bad?" AJ asked, confused. "Consider this, AJ. He possesses highly destructive powers by himself and now has alicorn ones backing them up, and those are greatly affected by mental health," Twilight answered. "So it's bad news?" the farmer asked back. "Very, very, very bad." "Yep. Not gonna like what happens now then. Hopefully nobody will get hurt unless some of you does something really damn stupid like attacking him or doing something he will see as an attack," Sasuke offered. "We are going to try and restrain him, don't we?" Luna asked, groaning. "Let's see, is very much so," Kurama answered, once read a little ahead. "Horse feathers," the Moon Alicorn muttered in answer. "But you are at home. Here. With me," Luna replied while slowly walking closer to him. "I am not one for royalty, I am by any means a mercenary, I will never be able to find myself at ease with being a noble," the blonde stallion answered. "I can always talk the royal guards into testing if you could be a good soldier. It would be similar to what you did in Konoha, protect the innocents and your precious friends, just here instead of in the elemental countries," Celestia offered. "You would be perfect for that. You have your own brand of training, there wouldn't even be questions about they accepting you because you are my son, since every pony would see what you are capable of," Luna added with an eager nod, already imagining having the armor-clad stallion as part of her personal guards, so to have him as close as possible. "A little selfish, aren't we? Please spare us the barbs, Mr. Sasuke." "I'm sorry, just can't," the shinobi replied by biting one of his front legs as strongly as he could to draw blood before smearing it on his hooves. "What are you doing?" Luna screamed with wide eyes. "Summoning," said Kakashi. "I am going home, I have found a Waikuchius no Jutsu summoning technique," he said as from the point where he slammed his hooves, a complex circle of strange markings appeared, soon followed by a huge cloud of smoke. "Told you. Quite the good idea too. This chakra signature Naruto," a booming voice yelled in a mixture of surprise and relief. "Amabunta. I am so happy to see that my plan worked. I'll explain later, but now I need you to take me to Mount Maiboku," Naruto said with a relieved smile as a huge creature appeared in front of him and that he soon climbed until staying on its nose. Amabunta was a dull rusty red-colored huge toad with around his eyes and on his lips and chest brighter red markings and a scar over his left eye. On his tongue, he had a series of stud-like piercings on both the upper and lower side. He was wearing a large blue happy vest with the kanji for Ibi on the back and carrying a massive blade at his hip. "What the hell happened? You are a horse with wings," the summon said in shock, almost dropping the large pipe he was smoking from. "It's complicated, now just do as I asked and take me to the mount, I'll explain everything once there," the stallion pleaded, his tone alone convincing the toad boss to comply with the request. "Stop!" Luna screamed in horror as her own power circled around Gamabunta's feet to stop him. "Guards!" Celestia yelled before adding her own magic into stopping the toad boss. In an instant several armored Pegasus and unicorns surrounded the princesses while keeping distance from the summon. "That won't help him calm down, thank you, Captain Duck, but the obvious. No need to scream, Dashi. Sorry Pinky." "Hey. That tickles, what are you trying to do?" Gamabunta asked amused. "You won't take him away," Luna roared in fury. "That creature is trying to take away Prince Maelstrom, please help us," Celestia pleaded. "Roger." The dozen of guards yelled at the same time as their own horns flared to life while the flying components of the squads rapidly circled the toad boss. "So you are the bastards that kidnapped him. And you even turned him into one of you guys, you are in deep shit, just so you know." Gamabunta growled with narrowed eyes, whatever he said rapidly translated by Celestia so that the others could understand and vice versa. "You fool. We will never leave the son of one of our beloved princesses get ponynapped without fighting. Soldier. Have everyone focus restraining spells on the toad, the prince must get out unscathed." One of the soldiers, rank of captain, at the head of the Pegasus unit said. "Roger, sir." The other replied immediately. "Please Maelstrom. Please don't leave, May can't lose you too," Luna pleaded. "I am sorry, give me some oil," Gamabunta Naruto answered with a sad sigh while his horn lightened up and he opened his mouth wide. That would be a little too much, Naruto, in my defense, I am panicking, Bachan, what are they talking about, Luna? Our favorite collaboration technique, sister, although it means he is trying to fry us alive." "He what?" "I'll take you home even if it kills me, boy. Trust me," the toad boss said as his belly inflated to huge proportions. "Scatter." Celestia yelled with wide eyes as soon as she saw fire mounting in Naruto's mouth. Collaboration jutsu. Gameu Enden. Toad oil flame bullet, both Stallion and Toad yelled at the same time, the summon spitting out a veritable river of oil, and the other using the short blast of flames he had spat out to turn it into a wide tidal wave of fire. Cool. And deadly, Dash-san. Still cool. Thank you, Pinky-chan. Hiro-sen and Tu loved that jutsu. Shields up. One of the guards yelled as immediately every pony present able to wield magic, aided by the two princesses, collaborated into rising a strong enough barrier to stop the fire from roasting them and damaging gardens and castle. But once smoke and flames disappeared, there was no trace of either summoner. He is gone. Celestia said with wide eyes. Ah. He used that to cover his escape. He knew they would have deflected that. Yeah, let's pretend he did it with that in mind. Spike-san my Naruto-kun is not a murderer, Sakura. Sorry Hinata. Volstrom no Luna muttered before collapsing from the shock. Luna. The Sun Princess screamed in horror while trying to reanimate the fainted alicorn. Mount Maiboku isolated area. In a powerful explosion of smoke Gamabunta reappeared in the sacred mountain of the Toad summoning clan, the current boss scanning the area until he nodded satisfied. No one's near, you can come out. He said. Do I'm here. I am home. Naruto said with a smile towing the broken and actually scaring Gamabunta. Yes you are. Listen, I have a small errand to run that needs my attention. I won't tell anyone you called me, nor that you are here, and no one usually comes here so you'll have some peace. Just wait for me and we will talk a little, okay? The summon said with his most calm smile. But you'll be back soon, right? He asked in worry. Of course I will, Gaki. Who the hell do you think you are talking with? I still consider you a friend, Gamabunta answered smirking. Thank you, the stallion said. Now relax and enjoy being home, I'll be back soon. The summon said before calmly jumping away. Okay Naruto answered before drifting asleep under a huge leaf with a serene smile on his face. So sleep deprivation too, he is in a bad shape. Hey, Bachan. It's just a story. I am here and I am fine. So stop worrying. You are right, I guess I got too involved, haha. Not far away. Hops. What happened? You got summoned all of a sudden. A new guy signed our contract. Another massive toad asked curious. No, it was Naruto. I managed to take him here, the boss answered. What? He is here. You saved him, Pops. Gamakichi, the son of the toad boss, said with a wide smile. Wait. There is a problem, he is not okay and needs our help. Gamabunta said while barely grabbing his son in time. Problem? What problem? What happened to him? The younger toad asked immediately. Have someone fetched Tsune Kakashi too, we need people he can trust, this is not okay and needs our help, the toad boss said. Them? Here. Trust me, we need them here. I am not good in this kind of situations. Well you take those two, I'll go looking for Ma and Pa as well, Gamabunta answered with a worried tone. I'll go right away, Gamakichi said nodding before moving towards the elder toad, so to be emergency summoned in the elemental countries. Meanwhile, Canterlot. We have found traces of the ritual. One of the unicorns tasked with the studying of the area said in relief. Can you reverse engineer it? Celestia asked. We are trying to re-establish the connection, but we need time, the unicorn answered looking down. Do it, we need to call him back. How is Luna? The sun alicorn said. She is still crying, princess, but at least she is more calm, Twilight Sparkle answered. I don't understand why he's doing this, Applejack said while shaking her head. I studied the ritual of Starswirl. Princess Celestia turned him into a full-fledged human, mind comprised, and the humans in that world had the right idea in erasing his memories to nothing since otherwise he would have had problems recognizing his new body as his own. But when she called him back here she had left his mind as it was, prompting his brain to finally register that he has no longer a human body. During his fight with Nightmare Moon, he had been only focused on stopping her and talk to Celestia, but as soon as things calmed down his ignored issues came back. No, he is just scared. The purple unicorn answered. Scared? Rainbow Dash said with furrowed brows. He can't recognize himself, he has started having doubts about his staying here in Equestria, and he now fears rejection from his old French, probably believes that he has nowhere to go and nobody to talk to that he can trust. He is desperate and so he is not thinking rationally, Twilight explained. Very nice way to explain it. Oh thank you Miss Sakura. That creature he summoned must be one of his friends, hearing him promise help and a place to stay in his old world was more than enough to have Maelstrom latch into it and go away, Celestia added in realization. Aren't it sounds bad, a young purple dragon said with raised eyebrows. I fear that it may become even worse than that, Spicarin, the Sun Princess answered. Wait. Spicarin? Kakashi asked dumbfounded. Spike-kun's full name is Spicaran Uvelitor Hinata answered. PFFFT. Hoi. 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 Why are you laughing? My name is awesome. Spike said frowning. Yoo-hoo-hoo. Don't you dare, the small dragon hissed. The I am so sorry, Naruto groaned as his face got slowly redder and redder. Boo gasped. We are not doing it on purpose. Sasuke added, having already reached the purple color. It's not such a funny name. Spike said with narrowed eyes. Spikaranyuvelator. Kakashi blurted out, unable to stop himself in time. Wahahahahaha. That did it as the full shinobi side of the reading group broke down in laughs and giggles. Bar Tsunade that managed to maintain her disapproving glare at her subordinates, even with the sides of her mouth randomly trembling and a barely suppressed urge to smile. Ooh. Spike moaned in despair while burying his face in Twilight's mane. Just give them a moment to calm down, Spikaranyuvelator. Kurama answered, smirking and renovating the laughs in an even stronger round. Darn it, Spike groaned in defeat. 10 minutes later. We will help him, we just need to have him understand that he is not alone nor unwanted, Fluttershy replied. What if we use the elements of harmony? Rarity asked. Why you people always react by first trying to use those on your problems, Rarity-san. To be honest, Miss Sakura, 9 times out of 10 the elements are the solution. It is not strange to start thinking about using them first after a while. I don't know if they would work in this case, the darkness that is clinging to his heart is of his own creation, but it still has to corrupt him completely, so I am not certain. Celestia answered. Can we help in some way, Princess? Twilight asked. That is in fact the reason why I called you all here. Me and Luna are going to use the traces Maelstrom left behind in his escape to open a portal and reach him, but we'll need the element of magic along the other elements to back up our power, so to send us and then call us back as soon as we have found him. Can you help us? The princess answered. We'll do our best, Princess. And if our boy keep acting like that, I will personally drag him here by that horn of his. Applejack answered. He is just scared, Applejack. I will help as well, Fluttershy added. I still have to throw him a welcome new friend party, of course I will help that silly stallion. Pinkie Pie said, smiling wide. A friend? Luna asked while joining the scene with her eyes still red from her recent crying fit. Of course. Every pony needs friends, so why not him as well? The pink pony answered. He helped us by keeping you occupied while we recovered the elements, it's only fair that we return the favor by snapping him out of his self-pity, Rarity said. You can count on us, Princess Luna. We'll help you bring the prince back. Twilight added. Thank you. Thank you. Everything you want is yours, just help me recover my son. Luna answered with a grateful smile. Just take him back, it's all we ask. He is one of us and I think he can be a nice pony once softened him enough, he only needs to enjoy life more. Dash answered. I still think you others are overestimating the fact that you are asking him to forget everything of his previous life to just come. Toto Tsunade said, uncertain. Equestria, Tsunade-sama. Hinata said. That, Equestria. Equestria. Celestia said. Yes, Equestria. Equestria. The son Alicorn spelled slowly. It is a little hard to say, honestly. Kakashi supplied. Especially since the Q sound is complicated to match in Japanese, sister. Luna added. Thank heavens for translating spells then. Discord muttered, massaging his temples. And by the way, I am sure Nopani here is asking him to simply erase his past. Celestia said, huffing. Yes, we find insulting your continuous mentioning that. Her sister added with a nod. You keep implying humans are savage beasts, Sasuke countered, shrugging. Touché. Both Alicorns admitted in defeat. By the way, what is the law of refusal? Does it really exist? Kurama asked. It used to, but we managed to talk the others into removing it when we helped creating a single ruling body for the various clans of ponies, once unified them under a single banner. Celestia answered. Clans? Kakashi asked. At the beginning each kind of pony ruled itself separately. Pegasus clans for Pugasi, Earth Pony clans for Earth Ponies and Unicorn clans for unicorns, each one had their own government of sort, then the royal sisters helped unifying each branch in a single body. Twilight explained. Oh. Very hard task, we had to sign treaties and other legalese traps for 3 days and 3 nights. Luna said, sighing. And that law Kurama mentioned? Naruto asked, curious. The very first to go, why you ask? Celestia answered. Ho 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 ho. It is not gone in here. Kurama answered with a sing-song voice as he briefly sent a meaningful look at Naruto and the elements of harmony. Oh. How many? Celestia asked in dread. 5, plus another one coming later. The Biju answered, laughing. Oh dear, and he? Contrary at first, but he is forced, trust me on that, to accept it. And he can. Wahahaha. Do not underestimate a ninja, especially the brat. They can barely keep up. Kurama answered with a proud smirk. Wow, the Sun Alicorn muttered, looking at the blonde human sitting next to her in wonder. What? Do I have something on my face? Naruto asked, confused. You will, and they will too, lots and lots of that. What? Oh, Harmony Celestia muttered, blushing fiercely. And there are good chances that you two will either be part of the thing or at least reap some benefits from time to time, huge ones. The Biju added. What? Naruto asked again, as Celestia's face now was almost burning from how red it was. We have a thread. It's a weak link, but we should be able to enlarge it into a portal thanks to the elements, but we have to be cautious, it's a one-time deal, any mistake, and we won't have a second chance. But we can now start working on it at least. The unicorn said. Good. Let's go help them, sister. We have your wayward son to recover, Celestia said. Okay, I'm going to ground him for 1,000 years once we are done. Luna answered. That's the spirit. Sheesh. 1,000. Isn't it too much? You are making your mommy sad and worried, be thankful if we won't spank you once put our hooves on you. Luna, please. I do not need other images in my head. Selly. Mount Maiboku some time later. Tsunade was rapidly marching through the path towards the disappeared Naruto with a deep scowl on her face. She was aware that having her and Kakashi enter in that realm without first signing the Toad summoning contract was unheard of, but what she did understand was the magnitude of the problem being great enough to bend the rules enough for this to happen. You don't actually believe that thing about him being a horse, right? Kakashi, back in his Jounin robes, asked. Ooh. I am just so smart. The author knows me well. About what, Kakashi-sensei? You'll see. I saw a light engulf my godson to drag him away, and a shape of something scarily resembling a winged horse grab him. As for now, my suspension of disbelief is on strike, so I am open to every possibility, just want him back. The woman answered. Good. I thought I was the only one to think like that, let's go. The masked shinobi answered as both quickened their pace. Why dressing like the time you were his genin team sensei though? She asked. For the same reason you are wearing your green coat. As Gamabunta said, he is under shock, so he needs something familiar to latch onto, so to stay calm he even have a copy of Icha Icha with me, the other answered. You always have a copy of that with you, Tsunade said, smirking. Yes, but this is the same issue I was reading when I gave my bell test to Team 7. Good thinking. Ah. I see, yep. That's surprisingly smart of you, sensei. Thank you, Sakurawood. Why surprisingly? SSSSH. Be quiet. Gamakichi whispered with a glare before slightly lifting a leaf to show Naruto calmly talking with the two toads Ma and Pa. Well, exception made for the horn and the wings, I find you well, Naruto boy. Pa said with a cheerful tone. Always said that you were strong as a horse for someone your age turns out I was right. Ah. Ma added, smirking. She really yep. First thing Ma said as soon as I started training, Pinky-chan. Okay, this is strange, this never appears in our manga, some pony must be giving the author more info than our respective shows can. That's not funny, I look like something out of a toy store, Naruto replied, pouting. But I guess you would have a great success with girls like that should you try, Pa answered, chuckling. Please Pa. Don't talk like Hiro Sennin. As if a girl would not run away screaming once seeing that I am a talking horse, the blonde stallion answered, shaking his head. Then you do not know women, dope. They breath kawaii stuff. That's sexist. Whatever. I find you cute instead, Naruto Tsunade said as she and Kakashi slowly walked out of their hiding spot. BB Bachan. The other yelled with wide eyes. Yo, Naruto. Decided to change look without telling me? I thought that you would have gone for the orange thaw, was it taken? Kakashi said with an eye smile while internally cringing at the fear he could read in his former student's eyes. I mean, I am not, the stallion stammered while slowly backing away, he was also looking around for possible escape routes. It's okay, I am here now. I am not afraid, nor I am disgusted or angry. I just want to talk, Tsunade offered with a calm voice and raised hands. You shouldn't have known about this. I asked only this to Gamabunta. He said before spinning in place to run away. Bring your sorry ass here, brat, before I turn you into a paste. Sensing the danger of losing him, the woman changed tactic and used the same tone of when the blonde shinobi in front of her used to joke once too many about her real age. That stopped Naruto mid-run, it was something he recognized, something he knew was normal, and was something Tsunade could use to convince him that everything was fine, that nothing between them had changed. Come here, let's talk a little, Kakashi offered while sitting on the ground and patting the spot next to him. Oh okay, Naruto muttered while slowly, almost painfully on his part, he walked near his old sensei to sit next to him and flinching when the silver-haired man patted him on the head. See? Was it as hard as mastering the Rasengan? I don't think so, the masked shinobi said while flipping open his book to read, or at least pretend to. Mon. I am in a bad shape considering what happened, if you didn't snap as soon as you saw them mean you're tougher than most ponies, oh no, sugar cube. Thanks, AJ. Every time you need. Okay, Naruto. Me and Kakashi can help you, but you need to tell me the whole story. The others too are beside themselves in worry. Even Sasuke is twitchy and wants to know what happened to Yao. Of course he tried to play it cool, but we know he is just as worried as the others if not more, Tsunade said while sitting at the stallion's other side. He snorted at the part about Sasuke. That was a good sign in both Shinobi's book. TCH. Now that's too much. I would never act like that. Sasuke said snarling. Quit playing the hard and badass, I know that you love me and like him. Stop pretending. Sakura answered slapping the back of his head. I am not pretending. Then, Mr. Manly Shinobi, what about yesterday when I tried throwing away your stuffed tomato plushie? The plushie, team? Naruto asked smirking. It has sentimental value. Nothing more. The Uchiha yelled with a red face. You still sleep with it, honey, don't think I never saw it. Sakura answered. Ow. The mare group co-ed is one at that. No. Don't ow. Me. I am not cute. I am a badass. Does he suck the tip of his hoof while sleeping? Dash asked smirking. His thumb, Sakura-san. Hinata supplied. Don't you dare. Sasuke hissed. Only when nervous, the girl replied amused. Ow. Arg. It's not as much fun when you are on the other side, team? Naruto said with a vindicated smile. Damn it. Konohamain Gate the next day. He is close, I can sense him. Luna said as soon as she and her sister came out of the portal that had opened above the village. Let's be calm though, we risk having them attack us if we act recklessly, Celestia answered. I think they already know that we are here, the Moon Alicorn said, while pointing with a hoof at a human riding a huge dog that had sprinted away as soon as he had spotted them. Hey. Why don't you call Kiba here? More readers would be nice. Naruto said amused. Why not? Anarchy answered with a happy nod. Don't you dare, Anarchy. Discord hissed with narrowed eyes. Do later, Dissy. The other replied snapping his fingers and opening a new hole in the ceiling of the non-place. Ooh. Badagwa. Akamaru, where the fuck are we? Kiba Inuzuka yelled in both anger and agony as the hard landing of his ass on the floor went aggravated by his huge dog companion Akamaru falling on top of him. Hi Kiba. We'll explain later. Sakura said with a happy waving. Naruto. Why are we here and why Celestia and Twilight Sparkle are here? The Inuzuka boy asked confused. You know them, you are a brony. Kakashi asked with wide eyes. No. I mean what are those horses? Kiba tried saying immediately. Too late. He muttered in defeat. Too late, Fleetball. Now just sit down. Sasuke answered amused. I'll give him a rapid rundown of what's happening, you just keep reading. Tsunade offered. Okay. But as soon as the chapter is done call here the Aburam brat, the Nara lazy ass and the Akamichi chubby brat too, so we'll have more readers. Kurama answered. Then we ask for shining armor, it's only fair for us to have a stallion's point of view in this. Luna replied. Easy enough. Anarchy answered shrugging. What's happening? Kiba asked confused. Ooh. You'll see, this is the strangest thing happening to us yet. Naruto answered chuckling. Naturally born warriors, trained ever since their birth. Of course their senses are sharp. The Sun Princess said as a human wearing a hood used a black cloud of bugs to point in an isolated location before signaling them to follow. We are getting closer, Maelstrom must have told them about us, and so they all were expecting our arrival, Luna said with narrowed eyes. Following the hooded human, the two Alicorn princes could see more and more humans joining the run by jumping from a rooftop to the other, idly surprising the two sisters with the speed and elegance they all could do that with. It's not elegance, it's badassery. Well said, Kiba. I like their world. Do not betray Equestria, Rainbow Dash. Sorry Rare. His friends. Celestia muttered as a pale-skinned boy flew near them, thanks to an ink-made bird. So many of them, Luna whispered in wonder as a red-haired human joined them up in the sky by running up a demonic-looking arm made of sand and angling it so to jog at their other side. Neither human sparing even a glance at the Alicorn sisters as they escorted them. Several worried whispers of Gaara came at that as the shinobi group grew a little tense at remembering how protective the Kazukiage was of Naruto normally. Soon the group reached a small clearing surrounded by trees, in its middle they could see Naruto sitting on the ground while talking with a pink-haired female human, a pale-eyed female human and a male with raven-colored hair. As soon as the two princesses touched ground the near shadows sprang to life latching to theirs and incredibly climbing their body until a claw of shadows grabbed their neck. At the same time a boy with chubby cheeks grew to huge proportions and stepped between them and the stallion, while another with a bowl haircut removed several iron bars from his arms and legs, each one of the little objects creating craters, once hit the ground as he threw them away. As the two sisters tried to understand what happened, they could feel a strange presence settle in the back of their minds, coming from a blonde human girl glaring at both, the pale-eyed girl and a second younger one moving in front of Naruto with the veins around their eyes bulging out. Page main completed, Hokage-sama, Shikamaru said from his kneeling position. Ready to squash them if I need to. Choji said nodding. Yosh. Ready to defend our friend, I won't hold back. Rock Lee added. I am ready, if they try anything I will shut down their brain. Ino said. You may not have chakra, but we can still disable your muscles, right Hanabi? Hinata said. Right, One-sama. The younger Hyuga replied. Chan. So you find funny kidnapping people and turning them into a horse? Well, I don't instead. Sasuke said as he summoned the towering form of his Susanoo. You want him? Then you'll have to step on my corpse. Sakura said while punching the ground strong enough to seemingly shock the whole village. Congratulations, you just made yourself an enemy of both Konoha and Suna along Spring, Wave, Kumo and several other minor villages. I hope you are proud of yourself, Gaara said with a cold voice as he and his siblings prepared their respective weapons. The dude is our friend, like hell I am gonna let some pastel-colored horse take him away. Kiba said with Akamaru near him growling at the two alicorns. I suggest you to not try anything funny, why? Because we won't be kind in our answer, Shino added with a nod. I ambled you really do that? For me? Yep, in a heartbeat buddy. Yes, Naruto-kun. Of course, brat. As any Jounin sensei would, Naruto. Too we all would, and do not cry, dope. Sniffle I am not crying. I am just sweating. Of course you are. All of Youden care about is being a pony. Luna asked in disbelief while momentarily wondering if the spell Celestia used to teach her their language was failing in translating properly. What can I say, always wanted to meet a unicorn and now I can. Thanks to you. Ino said smirking. It's alicorn, Miss Sakura. Semantic should we call Ino too here? He is kind of cute now, didn't like how he looked before, it's an improvement, Hanabi said with a shrug while ignoring Hinata's glare. Yosh. I don't care what form he takes, he still is our greatest knucklehead friend and we will help him if he needs us. Lee said with a nice guy pose and pinching teeth. Akei didn't need to see that last thing, Celestia muttered shivering. But he is my son. I just want him back home. What's wrong with that? Luna answered with a sad tone. Then you should have firstly approached him to explain the situation, instead of forcing him into this, kidnapping someone to turn him into one of you was just as wrong as you could get, Gaara answered with narrowed eyes. It is my fault, I wanted my sister back and was ready to use any means necessary to reach that goal. She's innocent in this, Celestia admitted. Yeah, we know that. We are savages, brutes and all that crap, so you thought he would have been happy to go back and yada, Kankiru said mockingly. Can you blame me? You people don't know the power of harmony or friendship. The Sun Princess said. I beg to differ, had that be true, all of us wouldn't be here ready to destroy you just to defend the dope behind me, Sasuke answered. Hoi. Don't you dare call my son like that. Luna yelled enraged. It's an affectionate nickname by now, calm your feathers before I use you to refill my pillow, the Uchiha boy replied sneering. Since when that's a nickname? I always mean it when I call you a bastard, Naruto said. Correction, take him away, I already regret him being back, Sasuke said. Love you too, the stallion said sarcastically. Ah. So much bromance. Stuff it, Scarecrow. That's not how you two should address your beloved Kakashi-sensei. He seems happy, Celestia muttered. I don't care. I have already lost his Fatari, can't lose him too. The Moon Princess yelled before shocking the others by easily breaking free long enough to pounce on Naruto and hug him, burying her face on his shoulder to openly cry. Stand back, now. Sakura ordered while overcharging her fists in chakra until they shone in a flaming aura of energy. No. Please, no. Don't take him away from me, please, the alicorn pleaded while clinging to her son harder and harder, shamelessly sobbing and hiccuping while shaking her head. Achin? Naruto asked with a worried voice, unable to think about a solution himself. Step down, we'll try to resolve the situation peacefully, Kakashi said. Thank you, Celestia answered. Don't, we are doing this for him, not you. Tsunade said while marching towards Naruto to sit near him. I don't want to leave you, the blonde stallion muttered. And you won't leave us, the woman replied smiling. But. Please don't take him away, I just want an occasion to have him back with me, Luna said. My mother is Kushina, Naruto muttered. They discovered your being not human once dead, but they didn't care, they loved you all the same and were actually grateful for the occasion of raising you as their own, Tsunade answered. Ah. Some backstory, finally. Tsunade said elated. So you are a horse in this, eh? Funny stuff. Kiba said smirking. Hey. I make for an awesome pony, thank you. Naruto answered, flashing his henge of maelstrom the alicorn as he appeared in the story. I'll be fucked, but that's rad. Kiba admitted with a low whistle. Thank you, okay, Celestia-san? The transformed blonde asked. Me? Oh, of course. HN. Hinata growled with narrowed eyes. Anyway. Kurama said loudly to defuse the situation. How? During that mass revival of dead, Minato had met Kakashi and thanked him for training you and keeping an eye on his son. That's how he defined you, his son, to him being a human or being a unicorn, alicorn or whatever was not important, he had decided by himself to take you in and never regretted it, the woman answered. Minato-sensei told me that he was sorry for your mother, well Luna-san here I mean, but also that he thanked the heavens that gave him an occasion to be a Fiftheravan, if because of Obito's dark moment that had not lasted long, he never regretted a single moment. And if he said that, you can be damn sure that Kushina too had been happy to call you son and is proud of you even now, Kakashi added. What now, then? Naruto asked. I fear that outside us not everyone will be as understanding about your being a pony with wings and a horn, Tsunade said. But. Let me finish, brat. The woman bellowed. Sorry, Bachan, he muttered. God if I missed you calling me like that what I meant is, well not everyone will understand, the ones in here plus few others are not bothered by it, she said. Well he kind of find it bothering, being defeated by a pony is a hard hit to my pride, Kiba said with a barely restrained smirk. We remember you losing because of flatulence not because of his powers, Mr. Kiba. You saw that. Fuck. Flatulence, dash. Yoo-hoo-hoo. She means that he has lost because of a fart, AJ. PFFT ha 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 ha. If you put it like that. I am not feeling good myself at the idea of having lost to a horse, Sasuke added. Ignoring the two idiots that I will beat within an inch of their lives, once we have done I want you to remember each and every one of us, whenever you feel sad in what was that place called? Tsunade said. Equestria, Celestia offered. That. What? Everyone yelled. What? Let my character finish, you idiots. Sorry, Bachan Tsunade-sama. Listen, it's clear that some people may try to capture Naruto to try and use him or study him, bastards like Orochimaru are always around, so I think we can let him live with Luna-san here, but. The former Hokage said while raising a hand to stop the flood of screams from the others. Let me finish. While he stays in Iku, Actor will ride us every day, twice a day, and will be able to come back here at least once a week to spend some time with Yusa. And I think we may feel free to ask for his help in case of emergency, where we need our dear overpowered friend, she said. I am not overpowered, Naruto said, pouting and making Luna smile at his expression. You are. I am not. You are, dope. I am not. Dope, you are ridiculously overpowered, I think people actually changed the meaning of op after you happened to pass by, Sasuke said. So I'll be what, exactly? The stallion asked. Well, you wanted to be important. Then congratulations. You are the official ambassador of Konoha to Ekiku, Kakashi said. Equestria. Is not that hard to say, Celestia said, sighing. Exactly. It is not so hard to say. For some it is, Celestia-san. That place, the masked shinobi said with an eye smile that made the Sun Princess grumble in annoyance. Same goes for Suna, if we are lucky we will be able to exchange some of our ores with those people in exchange of some rare wealth, Gaara said nodding. Well, I think it may be done. Celestia said in surprise. So I'll stay with them? Naruto asked. You're staying with both, brat. You now have two places to call home, one in Konoha Suna and one with those ponies. I think it is a good way to make everyone happy, Tsunade answered. Not even by living in a different planet, there is no way of getting rid of you, I guess we are stuck with you, Hanabi said smirking. That is not a nice thing to say and I was about to have a romantic story with him. Why can't I have a happy ending with him? One where I would hug him, then he would hug me back and then take off his pants, and Hinata answered before moving through a long rant the others soon cut off from their ears. Hinata. WW what? I am a woman with needs folksy ones, and I am always happy to help you with them, Hinata-chan. Arg. You are really starting to worry us, Selly. What's happening? Thank you Luna kept repeating with a happy smile. But remember, Tsunade said before surprising everyone by grabbing the alicorn's horn to twist her face around, so to better glare at her with enough strength to have lesser being reach spontaneous combustion. 2 letters a day, every day no matter if in order to fill them he has to tell me what he had for breakfast, I want to know he is okay. And we all know how he acts, thinks and speak, and will check every little comma of every letter, at the very first signal that you are brainwashing him or worse, I will personally reach your world and force you two to watch as I personally burn it to the ground. I clear? She said roaring. Yes. Luna and Celestia squeaked while nodding rapidly. Yes, fear me. Fear me. Bwahahaha. That's scary, Bachan. Oh. And don't forget, I want him free to come pay us a visit whenever he can, once a week would be perfect, thank you. Tsunade then said, switching back to her most gentle smile before letting the princess go to return with the others. I am an alicorn, and yet I did find that scary, Luna muttered. You have no idea, Naruto said, nodding. Hoi. I don't know them, but I want a way to have you still in my life, the woman said, offended. Okay, Bachan. Okay. We got it. Naruto said, sighing. Good. Would you really come back home? With me? Luna asked with wide eyes. Sigh. I guess I will. Can I still consider Minato and Kushina my parents as well? You can't ask me to forget them, they still died to protect me. He answered. And what about me? The Moon Princess asked. A step at a time, please. It's still something, sister. Celestia said. Oh okay, let's go home, Luna said, nodding. See to right, idiot. You know she will go apocalyptic otherwise, Sakura said with a small smile. I will. See you around. The blonde stallion had the time to say before light engulfed him to take the three-winged horses away. Equestria Castle. Maelstrom's room that night. Bucking apples with Applejack, helping Rarity with her dresses, helped Twilight with cataloging her books, helped Fluttershy with her animals, and being Dash partner during her flying training along helping Pinkie Pie in the Cake Family shop. Did I tell them that I would have done everything they asked to excuse the troubles I have put them into? The stallion asked to the room. For two reasons, one is because you are too gentle for your own good and the other, because only an idiot would give such an opening to a woman, let alone six, Kurama answered chuckling. Thanks, that makes me feel oh so better. Maelstrom answered groaning. But the knowledge that he still had a small link to the elemental countries and that his friends still wanted to be his friends had lifted a weight from his chest he knew had been crushing him. That same night he found himself in an empty void, back into being a blonde human, near him a red-haired woman and a blonde-haired man smiling proudly at him. Luna? Naruto asked. TCH. As if I will leave that horsey mess with my baby boy's dreams to Bane. Kushina answered with a superior smirk. What now? Naruto asked. We talk a little and help you find the right way to start finding an equilibrium between your life here and the one back in the elemental countries, Minato answered. It may take long, Naruto said, snorting. Good thing time works in a strange way in dreams, Kushina answered. Yeah, Minato added. Not far away, Luna slowly tiptoed out of Maelstrom's dream, seeing those two spirits settle things themselves was enough for her. If they were there, then she didn't need to intervene and help her son Herschel. She thought she could trust at least those humans enough to see how things will evolve. This time. I see that sensei decided to help things along, that's nice for him. Kakashi said with an eye smile. Dad and Mum would have kicked his ass if he didn't. Naruto added. That too. The man answered, chuckling. You know. Had we really had a son, we would have been really happy had him been like you. Luna admitted, smiling. Thank you, the blonde said with an embarrassed expression. What's the pairing of the fanfic? Kiba asked. It has been upgraded since the first chap. I'll tell you others once done here. Kurama answered, smiling evilly. Ah, don't like that smile, AJ muttered. Me neither. Pinkie admitted, nodding. The next day. The Moon Princess decided to join Maelstrom and Celestia at least for breakfast before going to bed and have her rest after her nightly routine, her mind already wondering how to have her son gain a good enough rhythm so to either join she or Celestia once joined the guards, but with a stamina like his, she also acknowledged that it was something not as hard as it normally would have been to accomplish. The first thing Maelstrom said to her though blew away every thought she had and threatened to have her heart explode in happiness. Good morning, mother, the stallion had said with a gentle smile and shining eyes. That's a good start, Celestia muttered with a small laugh at watching Luna pounce on her son to smother him silly. This doesn't mean I forgive you, you flying donkey. You could have told me everything instead of forcing me to accept this. Maelstrom said while glaring at Celestia through Luna's feathered wings that were hugging him as well. Well, that is a less good start, Orsifithers, the son Alicorn said with a defeated sigh, grimacing at hearing her sister start a new round of gushing about her wonderful son. It's not nice to use donkey as an insult. Rarity said, huffing. From my point of view it was apparently. Naruto answered, shrugging as he returned to sit with the shinobi group, with Hinata moving to sit on his crossed legs to snuggle even closer to him. Suo pairing? Kiba asked again. Yoo-hoo-hoo. Simple as our dear Naruto and Rainbow Dash, Kurama answered. Oh, okay. And Pinkie Pie. What? Dash shrieked. Sorry, Dashy, Pinkie said, blushing. Come on. You seduced my stallion. Dash said, whining. I did not. I would even share if you ask. The pink mare answered, offended. What? And AJ? Yep. That's a lot of stamina he must have. 3 mares is no joke. AJ said, surprised. To be honest, knowing his standards, 3 girls would still be too little. Tsunade said, shrugging. Bachan. The fuck? And what do you mean knowing his standards? Naruto shrieked. You do know the Kage Bunshin, Kiba admitted. It can't be used for that. Kakashi answered shaking his head. Yes, if you overcharge them, Naruto muttered blushing. Really? The shinobi group yelled in shock, especially at Hinata's eyes fluttering closed in remembrance. Oh. But there is more. Fluttershy too is in that. Kurama kept listing making said Pegasus blush crimson. Ooh. Please be gentle. She said with a low voice. Fluttershy. Dash yelled. And Twilight sparkle. Horse feathers, Shining will be mad if he reads that. And why me too? Twilight asked shocked. So many mares, Luna muttered in wonder. Aren't they too many? Celestia asked confused. He can multiply himself, Suo the Moon Alicorn said unsure. Please don't say more. Her sister answered uneasy. And? No. Spike muttered with crossed fingers. And the Biju said amused by the small dragon's agony. Please. Trixie. Oh, thank Harmony. Spike groaned in relief. Trixie? Why her? AJ said with wide eyes. She is a mean mare. Pinky added nodding. She is a bit mean, Fluttershy admitted. Who the hey cares about that? Why you others are in my pairing? Dash asked scandalized. Am I not enough? She then asked the shinobi group with a glare. Ninja have monster stamina by default, Naruto. His own is ludicrously monstrous. Kakashi explained. Yep. I can keep on going and going and going. Naruto said proudly. Ooh. The girls of the reading group, mares and humans alike, blushed at once at that. Pervert. Sakura said punching him on the head as hard as she could. I don't get it. What did I said wrong? He asked whining. Ah, brat. Please never change. Kurama answered amused as the book flew to Twilight. So it's my turn now? Okay. Let me summon the new readers before that. So we can explain what is happening. Anarchy answered opening a new portal. You love giving others hard landings, don't you? Discord asked as the new arrivals slowly got up and went explained what was happening by Tsunade, Kakashi, Luna and Celestia. I won't answer to those baseless accusations, Dissy. The Draconiquus answered huffing and crossing his arms. I'm excited the story read and react of the original omics. I might also add 1 or 2 omics myself as well, I still have to decide, so let me know what do you think about it. Extra scene Naruto's dream alternative version. That same night he found himself in an empty void back into being a blonde human, near him a red-haired woman and a blonde-haired man smiling proudly at him. Luna? Naruto asked. TCH. As if I will leave that horsey mess with my baby boy's dreams to Bane. Kushina answered with a superior smirk. What now? Naruto asked. We'll talk a little and help you find the right way to start finding an equilibrium between your life here and the one back in the elemental countries. It may take long, Naruto said snorting. But think time works in a strange way in dreams, she answered. Hey, where is Dad? The blonde shinobi asked. He is talking with those 2 sisters, he will join us soon. Sensei is talking with you too. What will he want to ask? You find us confused as well, Mr. Kakashi. Meanwhile Luna and Celestia's dream. You ruined my Suun. Minato screamed in fury while chasing the 2 alicorns. It's not my fault. It was all Celestia's doing. Luna replied while dodging the new wave of kunes he was throwing them. Where is your sisterly camaraderie? And you can manipulate dreams, do something. Celestia answered. He is not a dream but an enraged spirit. And you saw him, he simply smashes down everything I put up against him. The other replied with a shriek as a Rasen shuriken flew above her head. He was the manliest of the manly men just like me. And you turned him into something out of a kid's show. D.E. Minato roared as he prepared new weapons and jutsu to use against the 2. PFFFT. I expected your mother doing this, Naruto. Not Minato. Really, Bachan? Yep. I guess your father won their rock-paper-scissors match to decide who would have punished them for turning you into a pony. I don't understand why you see being a pony as unstalliony, it's a matter of point of view, Shining-san. Me Earsy. Both sister yelled at the same time. Denied. Now let me catch you. I got a craving for a steak of horse meat. The former 4th Hokage answered with a hungry expression while taking out a knife and a fork. Aye. Needless to say, both princesses won't find a lot of rest that night. Ew. Furry mental images. Kiba said in disgust. Can we please know what is this furry thing you others keep mentioning? Twilight asked exasperated. They don't seem open to talk about it, Twilight. Please don't force them. Fluttershy asked gently. She does act like Hinata. Chaoji admitted amused making the Hyuga girl blush. Oh. To hell with it. You want to know? I'll tell you. Kiba said annoyed. Kiba, don't. You'll scare them. Shino answered shaking his head. Then you do it, Mr. Wise Guy. Sigh. If I have to. The Aburamaire answered with a tiny, suffered sigh. I have a bad feeling about this shining armor, muttered shivering. But the term furry, it is intended a branch of adult fandom, where Shino started saying. 30 seconds later. Giiii. A single, multi-voice scream echoed in the non-place as each member of the pony group dashed in a different direction to vacate their stomach. And I was the one scaring them? Kiba asked, smirking. Shut up, Kiba. Shino muttered while burying his face inside his coat. What if Godlike Naruto son of Luna My Little Pony end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.